Well, good evening, football fans. Welcome to the Palace on the Plains, Bain Schaefer Buffalo Stadium at First United Field, the site of another old-fashioned LSC rivalry tonight between the West Texas A&M Buffaloes and the Angelo State Rams. This is the Marple Depot pregame show. I'm Lucas Kinsey, alongside Bryce Sheets. Kent Johnson will join us down on the sidelines throughout the broadcast. And Bryce, neither team enters tonight's contest where they expect it to be.
We would like to thank you for attending today's game and for supporting West Texas A&M
back
University.
in August before the season started. Angelo State, they were the LSC favorites after two straight seasons of deep runs into the NCAA playoffs. But the Rams, they have an overall record of 4-3, and they've dropped two conference losses. Both of them have been close. That puts them in fourth place in the Lone Star Conference race currently. Now, West Texas A&M, with first-year head coach Josh Lynn, they have a 3-5 record right now after dropping a fourth LSC game on the road last week to a really good Central Washington team. So right now the Buffs, that game, by the way, the score was 30-14. It was close until halfway through the third quarter into the fourth. But the Buffs have been really strong at home. They've won 3 of 4 games at home, but they've lost all 4 games away from Bain Schaefer Stadium. They sit in 7th place right now in the Lone Star Conference. And both teams have suffered some nail biters. I mean, the fan bases, they've been through it this year with a couple of these losses. But you go back to this series throughout the years, we're not going to be surprised tonight if we see another cliffhanger.
No, not at all, really. These teams have battled nip and tuck throughout the last several years. And no one really is a favorite when you get into it. I mean, you do look at it as one team should be the favorite, but when they get into this type of contest, really, I think you can throw, the old cliche, you throw the records out the window, basically,
sure.
And that's really the thing that, makes a big difference is both teams come ready to play, and I think that will be the case tonight as well.
Looking at West Texas A&M last week, struggled to get the offense on track in Ellensburg, just 259 total yards of offense. And again, the ground game, that's where they really just got hurt. 335 yards. That's what Central Washington put up against the Buffaloes. Meanwhile, WT only managed 84 on the ground.
Yeah, and that's the thing. If you can't get the running game going, you can't really feature the passing game. And again, you've got to have receivers that have, super speed that can get away.
Yeah.
We really don't have that this year. And so if you don't have a ground game that people have to concentrate on or respect, then they can basically go to a nickel package, and when you're forced to throw, they don't have any worries about shutting down what your offense can do.
We went down and visited with head coach Josh Lynn before the game, and he told us they're going to go with Kyle Brown tonight as a starting quarterback. Cannon Gibson maybe a little banged up last week in that road loss against Central Washington. And so I asked him, how does that change things? Obviously, Kyle, more of a pocket passer and is not going to get out and run on the edges like we've seen Cannon Gibson do. And what Coach Lynn told me is he said the first thing that has to change is he said we have to be able to run the football.
Right, and that's a big key. I mean, again, it starts up front. Your offensive line has got to open some holes. And then your running backs have got to be able to hit those and hit them with power. Now, the backs can't do that for WT this year. It's just that I don't think they've really had the opportunity, primarily because they haven't got the big holes that they can run through that they have in years past.
Yeah. Now, Angelo State, on the other side, they've got a strong quarterback-wide receiver connection when you look at quarterback Gerald Gardner and wide receiver Zoran Rideau. 13 passing touchdowns for Gardner, graduate senior that came in for Angelo State. Rideau actually leads the Lone Star Conference in receiving yards with 514, so the Buff secondary is going to have to contain him.
Well, again, you got a speed back, and so that's what he is. He can get up the field. And Gardner is a stocky quarterback.
Yeah, 6'3".
He's just a big guy. I was watching him warm up, and so, again, throws a nice, pretty ball. At the same time, he can take off and run if he needs to, just because he has the ability to take on tacklers and not worry about it.
Yeah, for West Texas A&M, defensively, they've got one of the best linebackers in the country. In fact, in the Lone Star Conference, J.T. Cavender leads the conference with 81 tackles.
Yeah, J.T., one of our favorite players, and again, I think this year, because of injuries the last couple, he has come back out with a renewed sense of not only just optimism, but just go get them. And that's really what he's done. That's why he leads the conference in tackles this year. And again, he has a nose for the football. He knows how to read what offenses are doing and can fill in gaps and fill in holes.
Talk about this rivalry. We'll talk more later tonight about that trophy that is behind us, the Golden Mouth of the South trophy, which either Jeremy Bryant will be taking back to San Angelo or it will be staying here in Canyon. But we'll talk more about that. The first matchup between the Rams and the Buffs happened in 1980. 83, and this evening it'll be the 37th all-time meeting. The maroon and white square off against the blue and gold right here on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network. Right now, we're going to turn it over to our public address announcer, Corbin Richardson. It is senior night here for West Texas A&M, and 12 seniors being honored in front of their fans and their family.
Back in 2019, I was outside freely, but now they got it out for me. I don't care what frat you was in, you can't out for me. Keep dreaming, pineapple juice, I give it sweet. I know what they like, so I just keep cheesing. Hard drive full of heat seeking. Trying to come the same day as Jack, rethinking. You don't need Givenchy, you need Jesus. Why do y'all sleep on me? I need reasons. I got Plex in the mail peak season. Shout out to my UPS workers, making sure I receive. You can do it too, believe. I've been go up the sex and I can let you in. I can put you in. Yes, I am. They say you a superstar now, damn. I guess I am. You might be the man, well, that's unless I am. Okay, I'll confess I am. Go ahead and get undressed, I am. I'm about to slide, I'm outside, this lifestyle don't got many downsides. Except for the lack of time, I can round my family, making sure they never downsize. I got visions in my mind, saying, wait, this house is mine. Can't lie, I ain't gonna cloud time. I got them on the bandwagon now, about time. I ain't even got no downtime. Every time I speak, she say, yeah, that sounds fine. I've been go up the sex.
We'd like to turn your attention to the field as we honor the 12 members of the 2023 WT football senior class. Our first senior is Tyler Swede. The Rio Alto, California native has seen time in all 17 games during the past 2 seasons in maroon and white. Tyler has caught 49 passes for 602 yards and 4 touchdowns as a Buffalo. He is joined today by his parents, Tony and Tisha. Ladies and gentlemen, number 1, Tyler Swede. Our next senior is Kenneth Red Jr. The Detroit, Michigan native has seen time in 30 games for the Buffs over the last 4 seasons. He has caught 45 passes for 544 yards and 5 touchdowns during his time in Canyon. He is joined today by his mother, Charmaine, and his sister, Daria. Ladies and gentlemen, number 2, Kenneth Red Jr. Our next senior is number 6, Shaquille Brown. The Victorville, California native has seen time in 22 games for the Buffs during the last 3 seasons. He has caught 31 passes for 337 yards and 5 touchdowns, while also rushing for 6 scores. He is joined today by his parents, Anthony and Shalonda, along with his brother, DeAndre. Ladies and gentlemen, number 6, Shaquille Brown. Our next senior is Noah Bogardis. The Eastvale, California native has seen time in 28 games for the Buffs over the last 3 seasons. He has caught 101 passes for 1,657 yards and 9 touchdowns during his time in maroon and white. He is joined today by his parents, Scott and Jessica, along with his siblings, Emma and Jordan. Ladies and gentlemen, number 8, Noah Bogardis. Our next senior is Darius Carlson. The Washington native has seen time in 6 games for the Buffaloes during the last 2 seasons. He has registered 6 total tackles to go along with the pass breakup during his time in maroon and white. He is joined today by his girlfriend, Kayla, along with WT Director of Sports Medicine, Luke Casper, and former teammates Dylan Mata and Eric Collins. Ladies and gentlemen, number 26, Darius Carlson.
Our next senior is Michael Arsenault II. The Louisiana native has seen time in 6 games during his time in maroon and white, registering 1 tackle last season at Adams State. He is joined today by his mother Dana and stepfather Carmen. Ladies and gentlemen, number 27, Michael Arsenault. Our next senior is Freddie Simmons. The Tallahassee, Florida native has seen time in 15 games for the Buffaloes during the past 2 seasons. He has registered 25 total tackles to go along with 7 pass breakups and an interception. He is joined by his parents, Hope and Freddie Sr., along with his sister, Lala, and girlfriend, Cabriana. Ladies and gentlemen, number 28, Freddie Simmons. Our next senior is Jake Cosper. The Albuquerque product has seen time in 8 games for the Buffaloes during the last 4 seasons. He has registered 6 total tackles to go along with 2 pass breakups. He is joined by his parents, Terry and Nicole, along with his siblings, Lauren and Ryan. Ladies and gentlemen, number 29, Jake Cosper. Our next senior is Jimmy Harrison. The Hobbs, New Mexico native has started all 8 games at linebacker for the Buffs after transferring from Nebraska Kearney. He has registered 75 total tackles with 1.5 sacks to go along with a forced fumble and a fumble recovery. He is joined today by his mother, Cameron. Check that, Carmen. Ladies and gentlemen, number 44, Jimmy Harrison. Our next senior is Xavier Rivera. The Abernathy native has seen time in 36 games in maroon and white. He has registered 80 total tackles with 3 sacks during his time in Canyon. He is joined today by his mother, Fina, his stepfather, Julian, his brother, Gio, his girlfriend, Pamela, and sister-in-law, Amaya. Ladies and gentlemen, number 74, Xavier Rivera. Our next senior is Willington Bridges. The Burleson, Texas native has seen time in 3 games for the Buffs. He has registered 1 catch for 6 yards to go along with 1 tackle on special teams. He is joined today by his mother, Dana, and stepfather, Tim. Ladies and gentlemen, number 82, Wellington Bridges. Our next senior is Mo Kanani. The Nazareth, Palestine native has seen time in 1 game this season for the Buffs after a 2-year career on the WT men's soccer team. He is connected on his first career extra point attempt against Western New Mexico during homecoming. He is joined today by his girlfriend Claire and teammate Preston. Ladies and gentlemen, number 85, Mo Kanani. Buff Nation, let's give one more big round of applause for the West Texas A&M football senior class of 2023.
WT student athletes drink low-fat chocolate milk post-workout because it helps replenish and restore muscles quickly to their peak potential. Scientific studies suggest that the immediate benefits of low-fat chocolate milk include boosted performance, improved training, and higher recovery rates in athletes. Add low-fat chocolate milk to your post-workout routine.
Go Buffs!
Welcome back to Bain Schaefer Stadium and First United Bank Field as we get set for this matchup between Angelo State and West Texas A&M. Time now to head down to the field. Kent Johnson is standing by for a preview of tonight's matchup. Kent Johnson, take it away.
Fans, get ready to hear the sound of West Texas. Your West Texas A&M University marching band.
The Buffaloes renew a rivalry tonight with an Angelo State team that preseason prognosticators picked to win the Lone Star Conference. But the season hasn't gone according to plan for the Rams. They entered tonight's game with a record of 4-3 overall. They're 3-2 in Lone Star Conference play. Right now they're tied, third place with Texas A&M Kingsville. They come into tonight's game on the heels of a 28-23 loss at home last week to UT Permian Basin. In that UTPB game, their 23 points, only 7 were produced by the offensive unit by a touchdown. They had 3 Bradley Larson field goals, and they blocked a punt, which Andrew Pitts returned for a touchdown. The Rams are in their 6th season under head coach Jeff Gersh, who previously served 3 seasons as their defensive coordinator. Gersh comes into tonight's game with a career record of 33-9. He has 3 wins and 2 losses thus far against West Texas A&M. Offensively, the Rams are extremely balanced and average 383 yards a game. They've rushed the ball 229 times. They've thrown the ball 224 times. Their ground game is a rush by committee affair. Braden Wilcox has the bulk of the carries and the individual yards with 432, but 5 other Rams have run the ball between 21 and 30 times apiece, and they have altogether amassed over 600 yards. Gerald Gardner has taken over the quarterback roles this season. A graduate student from the Houston, Texas area, he's completing 59% of his passes for 1,524 yards, 13 touchdowns, and just 6 interceptions. Gardner has Lone Star Conference's leading receiver on the other end of many of his throws. That'd be Zorhan Rideau, a junior from Houston. Rideau has 28 receptions, 514 yards, 4 TDs, and he averages 18.5 yards per catch. On the defensive side, the Rams are strong. Under the tutelage of defensive coordinator Adam Clark, a pair of linebackers lead the way. Eric Rasco and Josh Booker Brown have combined for 90 stops between them. Brown has a league-leading 4 sacks and has compiled 36 yards in losses. Sophomore Bradley Larson handles the placement duties. He's 9 of 10 on his field goals with a long of 48. He is the LSC's most proficient field goal kicker. With both teams coming off losses a week ago, one of these teams is going to break out in the win column tonight. Now we're going to look at the weather. Game time temp, 44 degrees. It's going to drop into the upper 30s by the second half. The wind out of the south earlier today has switched out of the east. Rain is on the way, followed by ice after midnight. The wind will be out of the north late in this game. It's what my dad ingrained in me to be football weather, and that's what we're going to have. So let's bundle up like our good friend Bucky here. We're going to sit back, watch one heck of a football game. And now for more of it, let's go back upstairs to Lucas and Bryce.
All right, Kent, thanks very much. And again, the weather is definitely football weather tonight. Actually, it's starting to get a little foggy as we look beyond Bain Schaefer Stadium a little bit. So we'll see how that comes into play in this one tonight. Our windows that we're looking out of have a bit of raindrops on it, so that does come into play.
It does. You know, Bryce, we've seen it with college football. It means weird things happen, and here's one thing that I'm interested in, and Coach Lynn actually brought it up. For Angelo State, and before the game, on pregame, they were hooping and hollering. They seemed like they were really ready to go.
Right.
But from a psychology standpoint, this is the first time in several years where Angelo State is not playing here close to November for a playoff spot for potentially a Lone Star Conference championship. Most likely, they're not going to get in the playoffs. Are they still going to have, that momentum, that confidence, that passion coming into this big rivalry?
That's a great question because, again, it is a road game. It is cool tonight. The temperatures have changed from what you've been doing in practice and everything else over the past several weeks. This is the first cold ball game that they've been a part of. And so it'll be interesting to see how they react when they come out and get into this situation. And so, again, you're right. They haven't really got anything to play for other than pride. And that's exactly what WT is doing, pride here at home for another home win.
Yeah, we're excited about this one, and hopefully the fans will be excited as well. Angelo State and West Texas A&M. getting set to do battle here tonight from Bain Schaefer Buffalo Stadium. All right, and we'll have our national anthem here just shortly. Again, Lucas Kinsey, Bryce Sheets. Glad to have you with us here this evening.
You know, one thing the weather does come into play a little bit is on our crowd tonight, because this is the first cold game, really, of the season. And so fans have a tendency to shy away when there's a good possibility of getting wet and sitting out in the elements. And so those that are here are bundled up and ready to go for this contest.
Bryce, I went across the visitor radio booth and put on the headset, talked with Jeremy Bryant a little bit for Angelo State, and mentioned the little trophy that we have and some fun that we do with this. It's the Mouth of the South trophy, and we'll show it here in a little bit to the viewers. But Angelo State, if they win against WT, then Jeremy Bryant has it and takes it back to St. Angelo. If West Texas A&M wins, then I get to keep it. I'd like to say that it's on the mantle there in the living room, but
I know your wife.
Exactly. So it's proudly displayed in my garage. But in talking to Jeremy and Jeff over there for Angelo State, one of the things they said, we love coming here to Bain Schaefer Buffalo Stadium. They love the press box, love the setup of the stadium, and I think that's something that we obviously are very fortunate to get to do the games here. But from a player perspective, too, they really like doing that as well. They like coming and playing here.
Well, yeah, that's a recruiting tool that the university uses as they get set to try to bring in new recruits.
All right, here's the national anthem from the West Texas A&M Marching Band.
When you choose natural gas, chocolate chip cookies get a little tastier. Homes get a little cozier. Bank accounts tend to put on some weight. Towels get fluffier. Showers stay hotter for longer. And our blue planet gets a little greener. When it comes to choosing energy that's clean and efficient, nothing else could be more American. Atmos Energy, your natural gas company.
We are Carpet Tech, and we are family. More than carpet cleaners, we're a team. Diving right in, not afraid to invest in our work and each other. We're killing it day in and day out, never shrinking from a challenge. Our people are one part passion, one part grit, and about a zillion parts awesome. And we are always looking to add to our family. So what are you waiting for?
Welcome back to Bain Schaefer Buffalo Stadium. Lucas Kinsey, Bryce Sheets, and the Mouth of the South trophy. And as any man can tell, they'd be very proud of this hardware right here, Bryce.
Absolutely. I would put it on my mantle because Well, it wouldn't fit. But other than that, I'd still put it on my
Well,
mental.
and the cool thing about this is, we talk about this rivalry and how these teams are very even. The last 4 times they've met, it's been split. And so Angelo State has won it twice, and West Texas A&M has won it twice. And so, again, tonight, whoever wins, somebody's going to be going home with the hardware.
There you go.
We hope
There
it
you
is
go.
the Buffs, and
There
obviously
you go.
across the way, Angelo State will be gunning for this one. So let's get into our keys for the game tonight, keys to the game for West Texas A&M. And, we talked a lot about the offense, talked about what the run game needs to do, Bryce.
Correct.
But this one seems it's cold. The weather's a little bit off, a little bit misty.
Yeah, it's
and
misty right now, yeah.
This is what Coach Lynn is also used to, coming from Nebraska Kearney. I think this is a game where the WT defense might have to shoulder the load.
Well, and they definitely will, I think. And so that goes back. That starts with the front 7. Obviously, they can put pressure on the quarterback. Obviously, gum up any kind of running lanes that are there. That'll make a big difference. That really means the linebackers will be flying around. It was fun during the senior recognition. One of our favorite linebackers, Eric Collins, was down there on the sideline, and along with Dylan Mata, two really good WT defensive players.
Yeah.
And so, again, if Jimmy Harrison and JT Cavender can kind of get loose, and Kobe King, and again, the linebackers can fly around, that'll make a big difference.
Yeah, and they're going to have their hands full again. Rams, good offense both with the ground game and the passing attack. Second key, and we talked about it, Kyle Brown gets another shot here at quarterback. Started the season, obviously, for the Buffaloes.
Right.
Came in last week and was pretty good in the fourth quarter, 5 of 7 passing, threw a touchdown. So here's his shot again late in the season in a big game.
Well, and the thing is, with all quarterbacks this time of year, they've been in a new system. This is a new system, too. They've been in it for a while, several games, so now the language starts to make sense. And so for Kyle Brown, and again, this is, a second opportunity to come here to Bain Schaefer and get before the home fans and see what he can do as far as moving the offense.
Well, and I think one of the things when you look at Kyle, strong arm, doesn't run as much, obviously, as Cannon, so get the ball out of his hands quickly. One of the things to look for on the Rams' defense, if there is a little bit of a weakness in that secondary, it might be with the underneath routes, which is where WT has had success this year with the quick receivers, Tyree Tipton, Chris Sims, Tyler Sweet, and company, and so you hope that they can get them going.
Yeah, get them across going over the middle. You still let Noah Bogardus go long, but again, if you have those crossing routes, that does tend to confuse defenses.
All right, Bryce, another one. How about the young players? And this is a young team. I mean, we've talked about it a lot throughout the season, but young players getting an opportunity in a big rivalry game tonight to kind of make your mark, whether that's defensively getting a big interception. We've seen plays like that. We've seen plays against Angelo State. You go back a couple seasons ago for the Buffs, and it was a cornerback getting an interception, Ty Dillon, and bringing it all the way back to the house. Satchel Escalante did the same thing several seasons ago when the Buffs won. So can they get a play like that? Can they get Cade Cox maybe making a special teams play?
Well, and that is the thing. Again, all aspects of the game are important, and so special teams can be a big play in this one tonight. And you said young players, they're not really making a mark for themselves this season. They're really making a mark for next year. And so this is an opportunity to show what they can do, what they've learned all season long, and can they get ready not only for the last couple of games, but to get ready for next year.
Yeah, for the Buffaloes, as they make their way onto the field, we'll get you the look at the Buffs and also Thunder coming out.
All right, so they're getting set to come on out in this one, and so there they come as they walk down the tunnel and make their way out and get set for tonight's matchup. Again, the fog kind of rolling in here, and even more so than it was earlier, so this will be interesting in this one tonight as both teams make their way out. Angelo State comes out along the far stairwell, and the Buffaloes along with Bucky and everybody else.
You like that weather report?
Yeah, it said. Yeah, Ken Johnson gave us the nice weather report. He had 44 degrees game time temp, and it's supposed to drop in the 30s as we progress throughout the evening. And so, again, senior recognition. And so, again, this will be a wonderful ball game tonight. This also is Family Day and Breast Cancer Awareness. And so, again, a lot of things taking place here as the cheer squad have the pink pom-poms as they get set for this one tonight as well.
You know, for Angelo State, you look at the Rams coming into this game tonight offensively, as there's the Buffaloes and Thunder onto the field in the home gray uniforms, gray jerseys, and gray pants for West Texas A&M.
Thunder's feisty. He's ready to go.
Just a little bit, yep.
Yeah.
Angelo State averages 33 points per contest. The defense gives up just under 20. And I talked about that balance. Angelo State averages 159 on the ground. They average 224 yards passing through the air, 14 touchdowns passing. They've only allowed 8 touchdowns. Bryce, here's our X-Bar Steakhouse X-Factor of the game, Shaq Brown, one of our favorite players. You know, this year has scored a few touchdowns, haven't gotten in the ball quite as much as we would like, but he's a player. He's big and strong, quick feet, really soft hands. Whether he's catching it or running it, you like to see him get involved.
Yeah, and again, when you're talking about those crossing routes, basically it's letting him go up and crossing over the middle. Not only soft hands, but he has sticky fingers. I mean, he really can reach out and pull the ball in, and so you'd like to see them utilize him a little bit more. Again, senior recognition. He was one of those seniors being recognized tonight, and you'd like to see them utilize him just a little bit more in this one.
Shaq this season, 17 catches, does have 3 receiving touchdowns. One of the things, not really getting down the field as much, averages just about 5 yards per catch. Last season, we saw him come in kind of wildcat formation or just go under center because of his size, and he could power it through.
And they'll use him as a fullback from time to time, too, as a blocking back.
So we're looking for Shaq Brown to have a big game. There's our honorary captains, Bryce, that you were talking about. Family Day at West Texas A&M.
Originally from Midland, but now residing in Canyon. Ashley works as an interior designer for a local company in Amarillo.
That is Ashley Bell.
She is my biggest supporter, my motivation,
dominated by her daughter, Isabella Van
Staven.
And so, again, she is the honorary captain for tonight. And, again, as you mentioned, Family Day, how important are families as far as helping kids get through the college lifestyle. And so, again, just a great nominee for this as an honorary captain in this one tonight.
Family of the Year.
You know, earlier today, in talking with Jeremy Bryant, he was asking me, he said, how do you think the crowd's going to be? You know, the weather's going to maybe be a little bit cooler.
Right.
And I said, well, I can tell you one thing. The students, they've been rowdy all season long.
Right.
The Maroon Platoon positioned
himself.
The
Rams bench, yeah, absolutely. And they are a big factor in this as well. They make a lot of noise. They get excited. They help bring the team up and get them ready to go.
There you see the captains, Noah Bogardus, Jimmy Harrison, J.T. Cavender, and Tyree Tipton for West Texas A&M. On the other side for Angelo State, Leighton English, number 90, number 71, Noah Plesick. Also number 11, Eric Rasco, one of the defensive players for the Rams, and number 7, Kahari Watson. And those Angelo State Ram uniforms, very sharp, look just like the Los Angeles
Rams.
Like
the L.A. Rams, yeah. And again, if you're a Cowboy fan, you'll watch them tomorrow as well as the L.A. Rams play the Cowboys.
Noah's another player, Bryce, you'd like to see him get going this season. Not as many catches as what he was used to the last 2 seasins.
You know, and that goes back to a lot to when you had Nick Gerber as the quarterback for so many years. Nick and Noah had that second sense. They kind of knew, or their sixth sense. They kind of knew where everybody was going to be, and so that's what makes a big difference on the connections between the quarterbacks and the receivers.
Angelo State has won the toss and elected to defer their option to the second half. Buffaloes will be receiving on the north end.
That is head referee Xavier Velasquez there. And Angelo State wins the toss. They will kick off. Buffs will receive first. Your officials for tonight, head referee again Xavier Velasquez, umpire Jeff Cooper. The head line judge will be Connor Magnuson. Field judge Jeffrey Kimmel. Line judge is Will Simpson. Side judge Jordan Matkey. Your back judge tonight is Christopher Morris. And your center judge is Mr. Steve Veers. West Texas A&M and Angelo State.
And again, this is a rivalry game that you, like we talked about, you can kind of throw the records out the window a little bit. And so both teams usually get pumped up to play each other. And again, for the Rams, it's a road game, so it's us against the world kind of a thing. For the Buffaloes, it's another chance here. It's the last chance this season here at home to try to notch another home victory.
You know, the series, Angelo State leads the all-time series 21-15. And actually, games played here in Canyon, Angelo State leads that one 10-8. Very even there. Lucas Kinsey alongside Bryce Sheets. Glad to have you joining us tonight. Angelo State kicking off.
And again, what's kind of interesting, we talked about Kent Johnson talking about the weather, but the weather is starting to roll in here to Bain Schaefer Stadium a little bit, so we'll see how that comes up and comes to play in this one tonight.
Cade Fuller is number 12. He does the kickoff duties for the Rams, and a good strong kick that goes over Tyler Sweet's head. They'll bring that one back out, and the Buffs offense again, led by Kyle Brown tonight, gets their first shot.
Kyle Brown warming up on the sideline as he is now ready to go. And again, as you talked about, Lucas, the fact that he has a little bit bigger arm, and so it'll be interesting to see how the Buffaloes, do they try to establish the run tonight, or if need be, can they get the passing game going in this one?
Angelo State, three-man defensive front, four linebackers. They'll walk those linebackers up, as you see them there on the first play. Both outside linebackers up at the line of scrimmage. No doubt they're going to try to put a lot of pressure on Kyle Brown. On first down, Brown will throw, kind of retreating, and then throwing at the last second. And that one was knocked loose. Nice defense by Angelo State.
Yeah, the secondary had great coverage all the way around. Nobody was really open that time. And so they did have Shaq Brown in the pattern. He was way up the field. But, again, good coverage on him. And both receivers on the far side of the field were covered. Really no place for Kyle Brown to go.
That's one of the captains, the linebacker Eric Rasco. Big linebacker, 6'2", 215-pound junior from San Antonio. Second down and 10 for the Buffaloes. Play action. Brown has a receiver down there. Bagardis was open, and that ball was overthrown.
Yeah, that's just too much adrenaline for Kyle Brown. Had the right idea, went in the right direction. He just didn't allow his receiver to run underneath the football. Needed to put a little more air under that one instead of throwing it more as a fastball, and that one just scaled over Bagardis' head.
Are you surprised, Bryce? First two plays passing
I am,
against Angelo State?
I am. When they talked about they needed to establish the run. And so, again, from that standpoint, now, of course, third down and long, you have to throw. And so we'll see what kind of pattern they throw out with two split on either side.
Buffs with four wide receivers out there. And the running back, Travion McCoy-Gay. All kinds of pressure, and Brown throws this ball down the field. The problem was the receiver was
he did an up and out. Yeah, he did an up and out. And so, again, they just weren't on the same page. Tyler Sweet and Brown were just not on the same page on that play that was called. And, again, he had pressure on him, so he had to get rid of it quicker than he wanted to. And so, again, when you're doing that, obviously you can't set your feet and really step into the pass.
So it quickly brings out Seth Ford, who will punt for the Buffaloes.
Nice
fair catch.
Kick.
Fair catch was signaled but not made by Angelo State. Instead of fair catch at the 30-yard line, the punt is going to roll close to the 15-yard line. It was Andrew Pitts that was back there, and I thought he was going to get underneath that ball.
I think he may have lost it. And again, these foggy conditions are rolling in a little bit. He may have lost it in the lights a little. And so doing the smart thing, he just let it go, stepped out of the way.
All right, so here's Gerald Gardner for Angelo State, quarterback number 9, who on the season in 7 games played. Pretty good, 59% completions, over 1,500 yards passing, 13 touchdowns, averages 218 per game for Angelo State. On first down, Rams will run it over the right side. And the Buffs do a pretty good job. That's going to be a couple of yards gained as the whistles blow and they stop the forward progress there. The running back, number 21, Braden Wilcox, who on the season has 2 rushing touchdowns, 432 yards. Here's the impressive thing for Braden Wilcox and Alfred Gear. They each average over 6 yards a carry.
Yeah, and that one was a 2-yard gain, and the Buffs reacted to it nicely over to the left side and were able to make the stop.
They give it to Wilcox again. This time he tries the left side. Is cut down from behind by Josh Baird, the linebacker, number 21, with the flowing locks coming out of the helmet.
And Josh did a nice job. He was on the weak side that time, came back from the backside, came around and just grabbed his feet and tripped him up. So a nice job by Josh on that move to get over and trip up the running back to force a third down.
All right, so it's third down for the Rams. 4 receivers out there. And out of the gun, Gardner will take a drop. Good protection. Now the pocket collapses. Throws this one up for grabs, and it's incomplete. Good coverage over on that far side of the Buffs linebacker, Kobe King.
And that was kind of a delayed rush. He came late and then put pressure on the quarterback, and he had to get rid of it. Couldn't even set his feet. Threw it to where a receiver was, but not even close as that one went sailing out of bounds. So a nice job by the Buffalo defense as they are able to come out and make it a 3 and out and force the punt here on Angelo's first possession.
Tyler Sweet back to receive this punt. Buffs have blocked several punts this year. They
were close.
They were very close. Sweet is going to drift over, and fair catch made at around the 36, 37-yard line for West Texas A&M. Yeah, Cade Cox has blocked 3 this year.
And I'll tell you what, that Dumas product, man, he comes flying in there.
Need more business? Choice Media
can do on special teams.
All right, we'll take a timeout. No score early on here. Angelo State and West Texas A&M back after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
Need more business? Choice Media is your local outdoor advertising solution, helping businesses grow since 1992. After 31 years of business, Choice Media has both static and digital billboards throughout Texas, New Mexico, and Oklahoma. Billboards are the best choice when trying to grow clientele or promoting brand awareness. Contact Choice Media, your local advertising company, at 806-352-6585 to speak with a billboard expert today. That's 806-352-6585.
It's got the looks, the style, the performance. Your new car is everything you always dreamed of, and now it's here. First Financial Bank was happy to help put you behind the wheel with a new car loan at a competitive rate and fast, friendly, local approval. It's service that just comes naturally to us, much like a love of tradition comes naturally to you. First Financial Bank, you first. Member FDIC.
Schaefer Stadium is the Buffaloes and Angelo State both have had a series, 3 and out for both teams. So the defenses in this one so far are ready to go.
Well, I said I wanted the defense to carry the Buffs, but we're going to need a little bit of positive yardage, Bryce.
We do need some positive yards, but both teams really couldn't get on track. And again, credit good pressure. Again, same for both teams from linebackers who come up and put pressure on the quarterbacks. So second series for Kyle Brown.
You know, and the other thing, too, with this West Texas A&M offense, that the offensive line, they've played a lot of different players. And it's a young unit. Only one returning player, no returning starters at all from last season.
Right.
Out of the gun. This time the Buffs will run it. Travion McCoy-Gay pushed backwards, and he's going to lose yardage. 2 players back there. The first man back for Angelo State was number 92, Amaya Williams, defensive end, and it was cleaned up by Andrew Pitts. This Angelo State defense, Bryce, they're big and they are fast.
Well, and the thing about it, if you don't feel like you can get up the middle, in other words, going north to south, and so you try to do a stretch play, get it to the outside, that's exactly what McCoy-Gay tried to do that time, and Angelo read it perfectly. A corner comes up, forces it back to the inside.
3 receivers to the bottom of your screen. One of those is tight end Shaq Brown. The Buffs run it, though, to the opposite side, and it's another great open field tackle. And there's Pitts again coming up from the defensive secondary. And, you know, for Travion McCoy-Gay, we know he's got speed. We know he can shake and bake. the question is, can you power through and break some tackles?
And that's what you're going to have to do in this case, because that was one-on-one. And so, again, he was all by himself against Andrew Pitts, and Pitts was able to break it down and just, grab his legs and trip him up.
Pitts is not very big either. He's 5'9", 156 pounds.
That's what I mean, one-on-one. Running back should have won that battle.
And it's 3rd down and 13 for West Texas A&M. Here comes some pressure again from the Rams. Brown escapes the pocket. Is going to run it and lose the football at the end of the play, and Angelo State has recovered on the far sideline at the 46-yard line. Brown, it was about 2 or 3 yards short of the first down marker, and at the end of the play, the ball came out. The Rams recovered it, and so first turnover of the game, ASU has the football on the other side of the 50.
Well, again, he had nothing. He did escape the pursuit, and so that he was able to take off. The official is coming. Oh, he's just bringing the football back to this side. I thought they were going to remark it. And so, again, he escaped the pursuit and then decided to take off and run. Really didn't look up to see if he had any receivers, and so just made that decision to take off, and then, of course, unfortunately got tripped up.
So the Rams now in good field position. On first down, Greer will take the carry, and Alfred Greer is going to take this one to the house.
And a counter play right there that he just able to turn it upfield, and really nobody there to stop him. The line or the secondary had come up on press coverage, and so there wasn't anybody back to really trip him up.
47-yard touchdown run for Greer. The Rams do a little extra dance there. After that touchdown, here's the replay. Good push.
And again, right there.
Oof.
Nobody was there to pick him up.
How about Cole Phillips, Bryce? Big 74, just moved his man, and you ran right off of his backside all the way to the end zone. Here's the extra point try for Angelo State. Really good kicker that they have this season in number 36, Brad Larson. It is good, and Angelo State capitalizes after they recover the fumble. One play, 47-yard touchdown for Alfred Greer, and it's a Rams 7-0 lead early first quarter.
That egg producers don't quit at 5 p.m. We don't quit until the job's done either. Bankers' hours don't apply at First United Bank because we believe egg lending isn't a 9-to-5 job. While you're out working the fields or managing the herd, we're making sure your money is working too. Whether it's for livestock, land, or equipment, we're one of the most dominant egg lenders in the state and have been burning the midnight oil since 1907. First United Bank. We know ag lending. We know ag.
Well, Kyle Brown fumbles, and Angelo State makes the Buffaloes pay a one-play drive as Alfred Greer goes in from 47 yards out. The extra point is good, and WT now trails with 11:28 left to play in the first quarter, 7-0. And again, the offense has a lot of work they got to make up for right now.
And in a game like this, Bryce, where, again, you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams, the one thing you cannot do is you cannot turn the football over.
No, you can't have miscues at all.
Play the field position game. I mean, in that situation, they were going to be about 2 yards short and have to punt, but at least you bring the punt team on, and that's not what happened. Angelo State capitalizes for Greer on the season. That was his third rushing touchdown. That'll add to his 7.1 yards per carry average.
Absolutely. Yeah, nothing like a 47-yard burst. And again, that was just the perfect play call, too, that time.
Tyree Tipton back with Tyler Sweet. Sweet will take it out 1 yard out of the end zone. Looking for a hole. He finds it and gets across the 30. A nice kick return for Tyler Sweet, who has been a nice weapon for WT this season.
Again, you need special teams to come up big, as you just mentioned. And so that's a good way to start. Get the offense in a good position. Allow them to get some room to operate. And so getting it up to the 33-yard line allows them to do that.
New running back on the field. It's going to be Isaiah Smallwood. And he, Bryce, of the running backs that WT has thrown out this year, he is the one that is a little bit bigger and kind of can give you a little bit of a power look.
Well, and he's the one with veteran experience, too.
Right now he's in to block for Kyle Brown, who's going to roll to the left, looking for a receiver, and nobody was open.
No. Double coverage over on the receiver that he rolled to that side, too. And he was trying to get it to Kenneth Red Jr., and Kenneth was just doubled up, so nowhere to go. That's the one thing when you roll out of the pocket, which he did in that particular case, you're limiting to half the field. You don't have the whole field to work with.
Well, and as I was scanning the field that time, Bryce, there was no deep threat. The receivers were all within that 6-7 yard range.
Everyone was covered, and so this is more of a pattern that may help produce some throws.
They'll run it here on second down. Smallwood trying to escape, gets across the 35 to the 36-yard line. So a short run there.
Number 19, Isaiah
and he'll set up another third down and long, and the Buffs will hurry up. Try to change the tempo maybe. No, now they'll turn and look to the side. New player in at tight end, Brennan Ray. Extra blocker. They shift him from the right over to the left side. So 3 receivers on that far side for Kyle Brown and the Buffs offense. Rams bring 1 extra rusher. Brown throws on the run. Bagardis makes the catch for a gain of 2.
Yeah, he had Noah the short relief on that play, and he really kind of led him to where he couldn't turn up the field and try to make a little extra yardage because the momentum carried him out of bounds. And so that'll be a punting situation for the Buffs. So Brown does complete the pass to Noah Bagardis. And again, we talked about the need for Noah to be a part of what the offense is doing tonight. But again, they had 5 defenders. They had a nickel package in there, so the extra defender was there to stop anything that came close.
Rams look like they're bringing pressure here on this punt. Andrew Pitts back to receive it. And now the Rams retreat and set up the return. Andrew Pitts does have a punt return for a touchdown this year. It's a high punt that he takes actually at the 20-yard line late. Shows his elusiveness there. But Coach Lynn is upset. He thought that there was a fair catch signal.
Right.
And I think the official is saying, yes, Coach, I got you. It was a fair catch. Okay, but where are they spotting the football, Bryce?
The beanbag is back at the 19-yard line.
Okay.
So they're going to move it back to the 19-yard line. That's where the beanbag is.
And now the side judge did just throw a flag.
Right. Because he did fair catch, he backed away. And so in doing so, then they took a high hop, and then he kind of took off and ran with it. So the officials are getting together to discuss this one right here.
We had to delay a game on the return team. Fair catch, still ran the ball. 5-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down.
That's like the psych, like just kidding, right?
Right.
You can't do that.
Right.
And so a penalty backs up Angelo State.
So we'll start at the 15 instead.
Gerald Gardner on first down. New running back, handoff over the right side. Jimmy Harrison ends up making the tackle at the 20-yard line. Give the carry to number 4, Kason Phillips.
It was interesting for senior recognition, Jimmy Harrison, when he was introduced. Of course, one of the newer players, obviously coming from Kearney, Nebraska, went down with each player and shook their hand.
Yeah.
That all the seniors just to say, job well done.
Well, he came in, Bryce, and it didn't take long. His teammates voted him as a captain.
Yes.
They figured out, hey, this guy is a hard-nosed football player and a good leader. Second down and 5, and Phillips gets the carry again. And Phillips to the 40. Phillips has great speed. He's in Buffalo territory, 1 man to beat, and he slips at the 25-yard line. Harrison was giving chase, and Kason Phillips, third running back that Angelo State has put out there. He's played the Buffs a couple of times.
Not quite sure what the secondary is doing because the corners are coming up, and so there's nobody there again. And so, thankfully, Jimmy Harrison does have good speed, and he was able to run him down.
Whoop, at the
Stop
end
that
there.
one at the 25.
As it is a little wet out there tonight.
Yeah, that's the other thing, too. Footing is going to be an issue.
So Angelo State has gotten their offense going on the ground. First down play. Handoff, Greer back in. He's up to the 20-yard line before the Buffs corral him. This Angelo State offensive line starting to move bodies.
You know, you talked about the fact that Gerald Gardner has a good connection with his wide receivers, but so far their run game has been spectacular here in the first quarter, so why throw it when you can run?
That offensive line, Connor Fisher, the left tackle, Cole Phillips, left guard, Dalton Perry, the center, Noah Paschik, and also Jake Jackson. Please excuse me, the right guard on second down, direct snap, trying to get to the edge, and Buffs weren't having it, as that was a new runner there, number 15.
That was a
Chad Ferries. Yep.
And that was a direct snap to Chad Ferries too. There was no handoff there. That was a direct snap.
And he's one of the quarterbacks, so he came in as.
So Chad Ferries is from Friendship High School, played there a couple of years ago, so kind of well known in the area.
Extra blockers on the field for the Rams here on 3rd down and 5. They stay on the ground, spinning off the first tackler, trying to get up to the first down and stop short. That time was Braden Wilcox, about a yard short. So a call for Jeff Gersh right now. The way his offensive line has been blocking, Bryce, I would go for it.
Yeah, and the interesting thing about Jeff Gersh, you know, they talked about, and you talked about the fact he was the defensive coordinator for 3 years before taking over as head coach. And he really, a lot of pride in their defense and what they do, but he's adjusted their offense so much.
Wilcox stays in at running back. The tight ends both move to the right side. They'll run it right up the middle, and
he doesn't make it.
I don't know if he got there.
I don't think so, because he needed to get to the 15, and they mark it at the 16-yard line, so the Buffs come up with a big stop.
Yep.
Nice job defensively.
JT Cavender and company celebrating a huge defensive stand there for West Texas A&M on 4th down and a yard and a half. The Rams went on the ground. They were it looked like they were going to run to that right side where they had all the extra blockers. They went back up the middle, and it did not work.
Yeah, nice job by the Buffalo defense. And again, credit those front three for gumming up the works and being able to stop the running lanes.
Now can this Buff offense get into a rhythm, gain some, get some first downs?
Yeah, they really need to find a formula that's working here.
Brennan Ray, tight end, moves from the left to the right side. Kyle Brown in the gun. Buffs go with the ground game, and about a 3-yard pickup there.
Again, Isaiah Smallwood getting a chance to carry over off the right side of the line. That time they go with the hurry up.
And a good tackle by Eric Rasco, number 11 for the Rams. Brown takes his drop. Nobody open initially, so now he's going to run. And there's some room, gets a block from Smallwood, slides down, and I think he's
a yard short. Maybe not even a yard, maybe a half a yard. So that time got a nice block from Isaiah Smallwood, who was stayed in to block, and then he saw his quarterback scramble, so he went up and got a linebacker, and that allowed Kyle to pick up the extra yardage.
And boy, the Buffs need this first down, 3rd down and a yard. Angelo State with 9 players up on the line.
Yeah. You think they anticipate the run here?
I think so.
Yeah. There's only one corner that's back.
It is a run. Smallwood up the middle, and with that second effort, he does have the first down.
Yeah.
Strong legs from Isaiah Smallwood there.
Nice job. You're right. The second effort, he gave it a big push and was able to pick up 3 yards in the carry and pick up the first down.
Yeah, the first defensive player he ran into there was number 97, Jeremiah Franks, who is not a small man. He's 6'2", 295.
Yeah, and so, again, keep the feet churning. Good things happen when you do that, and that was evident for the Buffaloes.
All those squats in the summer in the weight room paying off. 1st and 10 Buffs. Brown's going to go play action. And there's nobody open. I mean, the whole time,
there's a flag.
There are 2 flags that fly.
And it's in the secondary.
They're trying to get him on the edge, Bryce, rolling him out, getting him out of the pocket.
Yeah.
But there's just not anybody open.
Well, that's the same thing. Kenneth Red was his target. He was doubled up, so he just threw it at his feet.
Holding, defense, number 11.
Okay.
5-yard penalty.
So Torrey Simmons,
Automatic first
freshman
down.
wide receiver from Pflugerville, he was being held. And that will give West Texas A&M a first down.
Yeah, so again, sliding around with that Eric Rasco is the one who the penalty was called on. The linebacker came up and just grabbed and kind of held on to Kenny Thread Jr. and so didn't allow him to do anything. And so they'll mark this one off. Man, they marked it way up. Is this a spot foul? It could be an automatic first down if they're calling it a spot foul.
Stops the clock with 4:56 to play here in the first quarter. Angelo State leads 7-0 thanks to a 47-yard touchdown run by Alfred Greer.
It's going to be a correction. Oh, it is a spot foul, and so it is a first down for the Buffaloes.
And the live stats are down for us up here in the box. Is that the first down? Second first down of the game. Okay.
Yeah. So
that's right.
Back-to-back first down.
That's right. Brown will throw, and this is tipped.
Right idea. He wanted to get rid of it quickly and get it out to Tyler Sweet, but credit a liner, maybe even a defensive back who came up and tipped it away.
It was Anye Arupabo, defensive back number 23, that came up from that safety spot.
Yeah, he was kind of playing on the edge and saw a nice opportunity to go slide in, and he was able to tip that one away.
So 2nd down and 10. Buffs move the 3 receivers to the far side. And the Rams walk up those outside linebackers again. Smallwood, nothing there in the middle and nothing there at all on that play. Angelo State again disrupting the line of scrimmage. And that time, again, credit Eric Rasco. He leads the team on the season with 49 tackles, 3.5 for loss. That's his 4th tackle for loss there.
Quickly a timeout for Angelo because they were trying to get a player off.
Timeout.
The Buffs are ready to go.
First
All right, we'll step aside.
half.
West Texas A&M has a 3rd and 9 when we come back, trailing by a touchdown here from Bain Schaefer Buffalo Stadium.
Your support makes an impact. Buffalo Club donors help our student athletes achieve their goals of winning championships while earning their degree from WT. Your support provides funds for recruiting, scholarships, and program enhancements that make WT recognized as a top 10 NCAA Division II athletic program and the best in Texas.
Well, quick timeout for Angelo State. They were trying to get a defensive player off. The Buffs had the offense up there ready to go on this 3rd down and long play. And the Buffs were trying to either draw an offsides or trying to get just that formula that caused Angelo to call the timeout.
You know, this Angelo State team, 3 losses, Bryce, but all 3 of their losses that they've had this year have come against quality opponents.
Right.
2 of them in conference play with UT Permian Basin and Central Washington. And the other was to Colorado Mines earlier in the year. Brown in trouble, throws on the run behind the receiver, which was Simmons, incomplete. It's 4th down.
Yeah, tried to connect with Simmons, but he had so much pressure on him that he had to get rid of it quickly. And so in doing so, threw it behind his intended target. You know, you talk about those losses for Angelo State, and we were talking about it a little bit earlier. UTPB, who predicted that one this year? I mean, they are having a phenomenal year.
6th in the conference preseason.
Yeah, they are having a phenomenal year. And again, Buffs lost to them by 1 in overtime.
So a punt coming again here for Seth Ford. Strong boot. And fumbled. Picked back up by Pitts. And it's fumbled again, and West Texas A&M has recovered it at the 24-yard line. Coming out with that one for the Buffaloes, number 27, Michael Arsenault, the second, who was honored tonight as one of the 12 seniors.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, just great special teams play. We talked about the need for special teams to kind of step up tonight. We watched on the replay.
He bobbles it there, picks it up.
And then a hit.
And the hit came from Stazuski.
Yeah. Preston does a nice job and forces that one free. Buffs great field position.
That's field position of the ball game here for WT. Smallwood will take the carry on first down, run into a wall of Ram defenders. There just has not been
nothing up the middle. That's the thing. They want to get to the outside, but they just don't see anything developing there.
Those two defensive tackles inside, number 90, Leighton English, and number 92, Amaya Williams, both very tough.
And coming out here for the Buffaloes, Patrick Gray comes out limping.
Brown signals something to his offensive line. 2nd down and 9 play. Snap was a little off, but Kyle was able to get it. Throws this one, it's batted away and hit the turf.
Yeah,
almost intercepted, but incomplete. So another pass that is batted away.
Well, he tried to get it. He had a receiver in Shaq Brown, I think, that was open in the middle, and as he tried to feed it to him, it got batted away. So it brings up 3rd down and long for the Buffaloes.
Ball on the 22-yard line. And the Buffs go again with this tight set where all the receivers come stacked in inside the hash marks. 2 seconds. They need to snap it. I don't think they got it off. No flag. Brown throws this one.
Oh.
A receiver was wide open. Tyree Tipton, and it was overthrown.
Pass intended for number 0, Tyree Tipton, falls incomplete.
Well, the Buffs will try to come out with some positive points as they send Preston Gregg out to try to kick this one in for some points on the scoreboard. Boy, Tyree was wide open. And again, I think it's just with the adrenaline flowing, Kyle Brown just kind of let that one rip, and it was just too high for his receiver to pull in.
All right, these field goals have not been anything easy this year for West Texas A&M.
Well, this will be a 39-yard attempt.
Yeah, Preston Gregg, he's kicked 7, but he's attempted 13 field goals. Long is 49 yards. This one has the distance, and it is good. Great-looking field goal there. 39-yarder. For the Buffaloes, Preston Gregg and WT on the board. It's 7-3. Angelo State with the lead. Still 3:12 to play here in the first quarter. Back after this timeout.
That egg producers don't quit at 5 p.m. We don't quit until the job's done either. Bankers' hours don't apply at First United Bank because we believe egg lending isn't a 9-to-5 job. While you're out working the fields or managing the herd, we're making sure your money is working too. Whether it's for livestock, land, or equipment, we're one of the most dominant ag lenders in the state and have been burning the midnight oil since 1907. First United Bank. We know ag lending. We know ag.
Well, a turnover for Angelo State, then the Buffs are able to capitalize as they go on a 4-play drive. Preston Gregg connects on a 39-yard field goal, and so the Buffs now trail 7-3 with 3:12 left to play in the first quarter. And again, both of the scores in this one, virtue of turnovers. The Buffs had a fumble, and Angelo State able to take that in for a touchdown. Angelo has a fumble, and the Buffs able to get a field goal.
Yeah, good to see that field goal go through for Preston Gregg. Last week missed a 35-yarder on the road against Central Washington, so that gives him confidence early in the game, and may have to use him again. Kickoff. Fumbled and taken back out from Angelo State up at the 10-yard line, spinning, and Buffs do a good job just across the 15-yard line. So, you know, we're seeing these special teams players have some trouble hanging on the ball, and it obviously is a little more wet than what we can even see from up here, Bryce.
Yeah, no, it really is. And again, it's a foggy conditions right now as precipitation was a good possibility throughout the ball game tonight. Cool evening as well, so that makes the football hard to grip, especially when you've been practicing in the 70s and 80s, and now it's right around 40 degrees.
All right, here is a new quarterback for the Rams. It's the backup again, number 15, Ferries. Actually, this is number 16. And running out of bounds, that is Braden Fuller. And Bryce, switch up here. This is third different quarterback that we've seen.
Yeah. And they've all run the football.
Yes.
So nobody's really thrown it at all yet.
Well, that one was a good run because it was a first down, picked up some good speed there for number 16, Braden Fuller, 6'3", 180-pound sophomore.
Now Gerald Gardner back in.
3 receivers on the right side. And that one is a big hit for the Buffaloes. The receiver holds on for no gain on the play.
What a read that time by Leonard
Lefford
Calder Jr. He just had a great look. Watch this move. He sees the block coming. He sidesteps it and trips him up for no gain.
Yeah, he took down Albert Thomas, number 85, the receiver, who is 6'6", 185.
Man, what a nice play.
Ford Calder Jr., the freshman from Bushland. 2nd down and 10 for the Rams, and I think Angelo State, they had to take another timeout. Coach Gersh really upset at his team right now,
Angelo State
having to take that timeout. So we'll take a timeout as well. 1:53 to play. Still in the first quarter, and it's Angelo State leading the Buffs 7-3.
I'm celebrating my 40th year in business this year. That's longer than any other GM dealer in the Texas Panhandle. At Greg Larry Buick GMC, my selling points remain the same. Our non-commissioned sales staff and my free lifetime powertrain warranty give you complete peace of mind. If that's not enough, now I'll give you $2,000 best price guarantee, and I'll still give you a free lifetime warranty. Why go anywhere else? I'm Greg Larry, and I personally guarantee you this will be the best buying experience you've ever had.
Quick timeout for Jeff Gerst. He wants to talk things over on 2nd down.
Yep, 2nd down and long.
Yeah.
Gerald Gardner out of the gun with Kason Phillips back in as the running back. He's had a couple of nice carries already tonight. Gardner looks to throw. Nobody open initially. Pass thrown on the outside, caught by Thomas, and he breaks free into Buff territory. Stazuski able to usher him out of bounds. It's a big pickup and a nice job by the quarterback.
Well, a nice job by the receiver. If you want to know how a receiver can help his quarterback, here, watch on the replay as he goes up and then comes up, curls, and comes back to his quarterback, gives him a big target, and so he's able to hit him and then just turn it upfield for a big gain.
Albert Thomas. Again, 6'6", using that size. Kason Phillips trying to bounce it to the outside, and the Buffs do a good job of containing. Suggs was the first man there. He kind of bumped him outside, and then Preston Stazuski makes the tackle. Half a yard gain.
Yeah, Preston again coming up from his corner position, or from his safety position. Read it perfectly, read the run play, and so he came up on an angle, able to push him out of bounds.
They showed the shot coming out of the timeout of the fans down there, Bryson. They're all bundled up.
Oh, my land.
It's the first time we've had cold weather.
No kidding. Bundled up here in the press box.
Gardner in the gun. Wants to throw. Great protection. He'll step up in the pocket. Now he'll run, slide down with Jimmy Harrison chasing after him. I would have slid down too. Number 44. We've seen him make a lot of big hits this year.
He was coming on an angle to make a big hit, and then does the smart thing too. Is the quarterback goes down, he lays out and falls on him, but again, he didn't hit him.
I wonder if that's a new technique that defensive coaches have to teach.
I think it is, because he had his hands out to show he wasn't wrapping up.
Do like a belly flop?
Yeah, pretty much. So Jimmy does a nice job. Really love the way he plays.
Running back in for Angelo State is Braden Wilcox, and they'll give it to him on 3rd down up the middle. And he's going to be stopped a yard short. Actually, one official has him at the 30-yard line, the other one at the 29. Needed to get to almost the 27-yard line for a first down, so it will be 4th and short.
Now they both go back to the 30-yard line.
Okay. So 4th and 2 here for Angelo State. And are we going to see the Rams? Well, what we're going to see is the heavy package as they start to trot onto the field. Chad Ferry's at quarterback, but now they kind of hold him over there, and they're going to wait and talk this over as the quarter comes to a close. So when we come back to
At
start
the end of the first quarter,
the second quarter, Angelo State will have a 4th down and 2 from the West Texas A&M
immediate timeout.
30-yard line. Score 7-3. Rams lead the Buffs. We're back with more football from Bain Schaefer Stadium after this.
For a onside kick, landed on my knee pretty hard and ended up fracturing my femur. I ended up having to go back and have surgery. Even the day after I had surgery, I was back in the clinic here. It's nice to have people help me rehab at a caliber of what I'm used to feeling like I can do. One thing that I really liked was having the access to the turf, because that's what I'm used to playing on. Now, I mean, it feels like nothing had ever happened. You have a choice of where you can go. This is one of the best places in Amarillo.
Optimum Internet has next level speed. Get 300 meg internet for as low as $35 a month. How fast is that? Fast enough to stream on multiple devices with 99.9% network reliability and equipment included. Or go even faster and get a $200 prepaid card. Get 300 meg internet for $35 a month with Optimum Mobile for as low as $15 a month. Call 866-9-OPTIMUM, go to Optimum.com, or visit a store today. Get closer, go farther with Optimum.
I want time to get through.
All right, welcome back to Bain Schaefer Stadium as we get set for quarter number 2. Let's head down to the sideline. Ken Johnson standing by. Ken?
Yeah, thanks, Bryce. We talked about the weather before the game, how it's going to deteriorate. Well, it is. You might be able to see the mist from our high center shot during the game. Temperature right now 41 degrees with the wind. The wind chill is 34. It's misty. It's drizzling. It's not raining. You come outside, you don't think it's that wet. You stay here 10 minutes, you're going to be soaked. The balls, they're starting to get slick. We've got towels on the sideline trying to keep them dry, but it's a losing battle. The turf is slippery as well. We've seen several players go down as they've tried to cut. It's not icy, it's just wet, and it's getting cold. Let's go back upstairs.
All right, thanks so much, Kent. And it is 4th down and 2. Angelo State is going for it here. Chad Ferries, the big quarterback, is going to take this ball and try to run to the left side and dips his shoulder down and has enough for the first down. And nice job by that Angelo offensive line.
And that dip of his shoulder is what made the difference there, as he waited very patiently for an open lane to run, saw it to the left. And when he got there, as you described it, he dipped his shoulder down, fell forward to pick up the first down.
6'2", almost 220 pounds, or 200 pounds, I should say, and says, I'm gonna pick up this first down. Nice job there by the Rams. The drive continues here at the start of the second quarter. And Gerald Gardner back on the field for Angelo State. Give us to Greer, running to the right, and picks up pretty good yardage.
JT Cavender right there to wrap him up, take him down. And so, again, nice run, as you mentioned. It picks up 5 on the carry, but JT able to wrap him up. He's got good speed, and he quickly hits the hole, and so you've got to wrap him up quickly.
Get to the 21
Plus rotating defensive linemen in and out. Checking in right now, number 74 at the nose guard position, Xavier Rivera. Second down play for Angelo State. Gardner. They'll hand off over the right side, stretching to the 17-yard line was Greer. And it sets up another short yardage situation. Angelo State has been pretty good in these 3rd and 1, even 4th and 1 situations.
And again, they like to go with a heavy package, and so although they're keeping Gardner out there on this particular play, and he's got some wideouts that are spread out.
Nakai Greer, 6'3", 285-pound tight end, is set to the left. Kason Phillips running, and strong running, picks up that first down, gets down to the 14-yard line.
Jimmy Harrison had the first contact. Had he been able to wrap him up, he would have been short of the first down. But again, it goes back to what we talk about with running backs. Keep your feet churning. Good things can happen, and that was evident by being able to pick up that first down.
Now the Rams have a host of really talented running backs.
They really do, and so that's the thing. You can't really key on one individual, and so they can do the multiple different running backs.
Phillips is a 5'9", 190-pound junior from Stephenville. Empty backfield this time with Phillips, the running back, in the slot. It's going to be a quarterback keeper to the left. Gardner Hit hard at the end of that one by J.T. Cavender, but he's down the field, picking up 5 yards there, 5 or 6 yards.
And again, that time just off the left side of the line, using that beef package as you talked about to be able to go over to the left side. And then just if you can pick up 5 yards in every carry, that is going to serve you well in this type of ball game with this type of weather. 7-3 our score. Angelo threatening.
Kason Phillips up the middle. This time the Buffs, they kind of submarine, hit him really low, and were able to stop him after a short gain. That defensive line, that time Dylan Parcher, Isaac Soper, and also number 39, Andrew Lauritsen. Got a little bit more of a push. Third down and 3 here from the Buffs' 7-yard line. Phillips stays in at running back for Angelo State. 2 receivers out to the right. Hunter Wallace and number 10, Kyle Bradford. Now it's an empty backfield. Throw to Phillips. Nobody picked him up.
Yep.
And it's a touchdown for Angelo State. 7 yards to Kason Phillips. Just miscommunication there defensively as soon as he motioned out of the backfield.
That was a great call. Again, they put him in motion. He goes out an empty backfield, and so it's just a wheel route with the running back, and he goes around. Nobody picks him up as you watch on the replay. He's running. Nobody picks him up, and there he is. And so it's confusion in the secondary as to who was supposed to slide over. You can see Preston kind of raise his hands and say, whose job was that?
All right, the kicker, Brad Larson. Extra point is good, and Angelo State, second touchdown of the ball game here in the first half, and they extend their lead 14-3 over the Buffaloes. We're back after the timeout here from Bain Schaefer Buffalo Stadium.
Need more business? Choice Media is your local outdoor advertising solution, helping businesses grow since 1992. After 31 years of business, Choice Media has both static and digital billboards throughout Texas, New Mexico, and Oklahoma. Billboards are the best choice when trying to grow clientele or promoting brand awareness. Contact Choice Media, your local advertising company, at 806-352-6585 to speak with a billboard expert today. That's 806-352-6585.
Well, Kason Phillips on a little swing route as he takes it in for the score. The extra point is good. That capped a 13-play, 83-yard, 7-minute drive for Angelo State.
That's a big boy drive.
14-3.
Well, Bryce, we told you those live stats were down. They are up now,
Yes.
And if you're an Angelo State fan, those stats look pretty good.
Yeah. 205 yards, total yards so far for the Rams.
The Buffaloes just 31 yards of offense, 29 on the ground, and 2 passing yards.
Well, and what's really tough is Kyle Brown just struggling to get the passing game going. 1 of 10 so far for 2 yards. That was to Noah Bogardus on his last offensive set. And so obviously the Buffs can't get anything going on the ground either. Only 29 yards rushing so far. Credit Angelo's front 7. They really plug up the middle, and so there's not a lot of room to maneuver. And they have Matu Malafu out there, 5'11", 300-pound junior playing nose.
High snap. Brown was able to get it, though. Passes this ball out to Tyler Sweet, who had 3-4 Angelo State defenders all over him. And that play on a pass, a completion, will go for -3.
Right. And so, again, nowhere really to go. You only have one man in the pattern. And so the Buffs have to go in a hurry up. Gay is the running back.
And Brown, again, snap a little off. Brown gets it, though. Release pass out to Travion McCoy-Gay. Catch made for no gain. I just, Bryce, it's hard to describe right now. It's just not very good in terms of, and give it credit to Angelo State. They are playing the defense they need
Injury
to be
timeout.
playing right
Injury
now.
timeout.
Defending against what West Texas A&M is able to do or not able to do, but there's nothing vertical. Buffs have not been able to run it very effectively, and you don't have that offensive threat down the field.
Yeah, and that's the big thing. If you can't really get, as you just described, vertically up the field, then there is no
reset
threat.
The game clock to 10:05.
So that's the thing, is you can't
10:05
get
on the play clock.
passing game going,
Game
and
clock,
obviously
excuse me.
credit the Rams secondary as they're able to shut it down. And so far, -1 yards passing for the Buffaloes here in the second quarter. Injury timeout, heading off to the sideline is Andrew Pitts. That may be an advantage for the Buffs because he's been all over in the secondary.
So 3rd down and 13. Rams looking like they will bring some pressure from the edge here. Better snap back to Brown. Good protection. He'll step up and run. Brown gets across and he fumbled again. He got across the 30-yard line and he fumbled. Are they going to say he was down?
Yeah, they are going to
Fortunate call there.
They're going to say he's down.
Okay, so he dove, and when he hit the ground, the ball came loose, but the officials come in and say he was down. He's still a couple, maybe 3
yards short, yeah.
Yep, so the Buffs will have to punt away. Here's the replay. I don't know if he's just, if that ball gets punched out at the end or just the ground.
Shy of the first down marker, that brings up 4th down.
I think he got punched out.
Buffs are very fortunate.
Yeah, they are.
As I said.
I don't know that he was down on that particular play.
So Ford will come on to punt.
He's been a great weapon for the Buffaloes.
He really has. Hopefully this one went the wrong direction there. Took an Angelo State bounce, hit at the 30 and went backwards to the 35-yard line. So Rams offense will come back on the field after we take a timeout. Angelo State leading comfortably here in the first half, 14-3, 9:05 to play before halftime.
Timeout. Media.
80 years, the Lone Star Conference has been committed to excellence. What began in 1931 as a 5-team conference has grown to 18 institutions spanning 4 states. And while membership has changed, the pursuit of athletic success and academic excellence has never wavered. 119 national championships, over 2,000 All-Americans, and nearly 300 academic All-Americans. Celebrating 90 years of success, this is the Lone Star Conference.
Welcome to MediDrive Pharmacy. We greet you by name, and our pharmacists take the time to console you and answer all your questions. Our Health Mart Pharmacy specializes in serving our community with fast, friendly professional service and the highest quality of medicine and health products. We accept most insurance plans, including Medicaid and Medicare, and we offer free in-town delivery to your home or business. Come visit us for all your health care needs.
Oh, one good way to stay warm on a cool night is the chicken dance. And the fans in the stands are enjoying.
Maybe that'll make my mood a little better. Maybe I need to do the chicken dance right now.
Get a little movement going, and that'll get you going. We need to see the offense do a little chicken dance. They need to get out there and move like this. Yeah,
in the end zone, please.
Absolutely. I love the bobblehead or the big heads.
Yeah,
that's cool. Jimmy Harrison's big head, and I believe. Is that also
there's Josh Baird?
Josh Baird's big head. That's nice.
Probably some kind of a shampoo sponsorship for him now.
I would think so. My land, great opportunity.
Did you ever have hair like that back in the day, Bryce?
I did.
Back in Indiana?
I did.
Okay.
Not quite that long, but pretty much like that.
Okay, I need some pictures.
Yeah,
all right.
They're scary.
Back to the action here on the field. Angelo State. Offense on the field, and Gardner will hand off. Big hole opens up, and then J.T. Cavender. Wow, there's a big hit for you after a 3-yard run. Cavender taking out some frustrations there on the running back for the Rams, number 21, Braden Wilcox.
That's just a great read, though. JT's off to the left, and he sees the hole open, and so he slides down. When the running back hits the hole, so does he, and he is able to make that stop for about a 3-yard gain.
Yeah, still, there's a big hole from that Angelo State offensive line, opening it up. Wilcox goes out on a pass play this time. Gardner sits comfortably in the pocket, completes it to the receiver in Buff territory, down inside the 40-yard line. That's a big play for Angelo State. Kel Williams, number 6, And if you're Gardner, Bryce, I mean, right now he's just sitting there surveying the field, checks one direction, comes back to his secondary receiver, and Angelo State receivers also doing a good job of getting open.
Injury timeout.
Buffs have an injured player at the end of that one there. Ty Dillon, slow to get up, but the Rams offense, they are clicking on all cylinders now. Gardner is 5 of 6 passing with a touchdown. On the ground, Angelo State has 170 yards rushing.
Well, again, and we talked about, that's what we kind of talked about in our pregame. Those crossing patterns haven't been there for WT, but that was just a perfect example of what you could do if you throw it over the middle in between linebackers. And so, again, Cal Williams was wide open on a crossing route and just a little quick pitch and catch, and then he's off to the races and able to keep going. Ty Dillon, even hurt, turns over to the Angelo side. And
I wonder if he said, "I'll be back, fellas."
Yeah, he's kind of getting fired up there as he slowly wakes his way to the near side. And again, one of those fiery guys for the Buffaloes that, gets everybody fired up and ready to go.
So Lefford Calder Jr. will come back on for the Buffaloes. Good to see number 9 back, Kendall Brewer. He's the corner on the bottom of your screen. And also Charles Henderson out there on first down. Rams will run it on the left side, getting to the edge. Good burst that time by Wilcox. There's just no drop-off from these 3 running backs. They all run it a little bit different. Casey Phillips, he caught a touchdown earlier, so obviously good hands. And this Angelo State offensive line, impressive.
And that kind of shows you a little bit of the difference, too. Again, Coach Garson's had this system for a while. They're comfortable in this system. They know exactly where they're going to be.
Wilcox, that time was taken down. Baird blows up the play, and then it's cleaned up by Goo and Jimmy Harrison. It'll set up a 3rd down and 6 for Angelo State.
You talked in the pregame, too, about how young this team is for the Buffaloes.
Yeah.
That's the neat thing. Like we kind of talked about, some of these guys are playing to show what they can do, not necessarily this year, but for next year. And so, again, a lot of bright promise ahead for the Buffaloes.
Final home game of the season tonight here for West Texas A&M. Next week, they travel to Portales for the Wagon Wheel game. Running play on 3rd down and 6, and the Buffs stop it, and the ball pops free at the end of the run. And is this going to be a fumble?
Yeah.
It is. West Texas A&M forces the fumble, and it's recovered by Goo.
Again, that was a nice read by everybody. A stretch play. Watch on the replay here how the Preston reacts. So too do the linebackers, and then the ball comes free. And Goo comes over there and just gobbles it up.
Initially,
is that a double entendre? Goo gobbles it up? No, maybe not. Sorry.
And Bryce, I was wondering if Angelo State was maybe going to challenge this. The play happened right in front of their sideline, and so Jeff Gersh did throw the challenge flag, and they're going to go back and review this last play. It's a huge call. It was called on the field as a fumble. You always try to watch body language, and when plays like that happen, is one side saying, hey, there's no way that was a fumble, or
well, right now a 3rd down play, and so they mark it down. The Buffs have recovered it, but it will be.
The field was a fumble. This play is under further review.
So they'll go over and take a look at it, and even if it's not, it'll be a 4th down for Angelo State. And so the officials have to run all the way down to the north end.
It's like the dot race here, Bryce.
And Ken Johnson talked about all the replay equipment because of the moisture is all under wraps down there, and so you got it covered up so it's not getting wet.
Is this one where you say, hey, we're having technical difficulties, sorry, the replay monitor's down?
I don't know.
This time? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
They'll Chris Jacobs, our main man up here with the Thunder Vision production team, he wouldn't let that happen. So there's some of the fans. I told you that they're bundled up, Bryce. They got the coffee out, and I think tomorrow it's supposed to be even colder.
Yeah, actually the temperature's supposed to go down as this continues. Kent said 44 at game time has already dropped to 41. And so, again, mine is still trying to load. I was going to say mine temperature is a little different, but it's still trying to load. But nevertheless, it's cool. And what's even worse is this kind of misty conditions is can't describe. They've got towels out there trying to keep the footballs dry. And so, again, that does cause some issues, just like what we're reviewing right now, a fumble, because it's hard to hold on to the football. And so the official's taking a look at it to see whether or not it was indeed a fumble. And if so, the Buffs will recover. If not, it'll be 4th down for the Rams at the 31-yard line.
We talked earlier about this Angelo State squad. They started the season off on the road at West Alabama, a big win there. And then they lost their next 2 games. They lost against Colorado School of Mines, 31-21.
Which is a good school.
Yes, it is. And then conference game, that was the one that was maybe a little bit of a surprise. They lost at Central Washington, 27-24, up in Ellensburg. And then last week, in the big matchup against UT Permian Basin, the Falcons were able to win 28-23.
Well, and again, of course, for UT Permian Basin and Central Washington, those 2 teams will play next week. And so, again, as you look at the conference standings, those 2 sit kind of up there at the top.
Yeah.
And so that'll definitely make it be a determining factor in what takes place in the LSC this season.
One of the impressive wins you look at for Angelo State was what they did at Texas A&M Kingsville a couple of weeks ago, 38-16 win there. The officials have already made their decision, and
they got to run back. That's the problem. They got to run to the north end, and they got to run back. Then he's got to stop somewhere here and make the announcement. Now he's going to go ahead and run to the middle of the field and make the announcement. And then they're winded after they've done all this running.
Take a deep breath before you make the announcement. Again, the head referee is Xavier Velasquez. Here's his call.
After review, the ruling on the field stands.
So WT recovers the fumble. So nice play.
It's West Texas A&M ball.
Yeah, nice play.
And that's got to make an official feel good, Bryce. When
Angelo was charged. The 3rd and final timeout.
Okay, so Angelo State out of timeouts here in the first half. When you make a call like that, and they're trained to look for it, right? Make sure, hey, knee wasn't down, ball was out.
Right.
And you go back and review it, make sure that they got the call right. So the Buff offense will
need to capitalize here on this miscue.
Start from their own 31-yard line. It's going to be a pass play. Shaq Brown makes the catch.
The problem with the pass was
a loss of 1.
Yeah, the problem with the pass was you didn't throw it to your receiver. You threw it where he had to reach out for it, and in doing so, he fell and hit the turf. And so, again, you can see Kyle Brown has started a lot, came in relief, just still trying to get comfortable being out there in this offensive set.
Smallwood shifts from right to left. And they'll run it to Smallwood, and he ran into Angelo State defensive lineman, thrown for a loss of 2. Give credit to Leighton English, who beat his man off the line. And this is just turning into a game quickly, Bryce, where Angelo State is not going to allow the Buffs to run the ball. Well, they are going to have to throw the ball. And so far, just in the passing game, you look at it, and it's 4 of 13 passing for -2 yards.
Yeah, and right now, again, they're still running the nickel package out there, and so they got 3 linebackers up, but they got an extra defensive back, and so that's what they're able to kind of play in this man-to-man matchup.
Rams going to bring some pressure here. Brown takes his drop. Throw, Bogardus trying to come back for the football, and that'll be a flag. They're going to catch number 14 defensively there with a hold or pass interference. That's Jatavian Neal, the defensive back sophomore.
Defense, number 14, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
So good break for the Buffaloes there that time as Brown throws it out on the near side. And Noah Bogardus just impeded on his try to pull that one in.
That'll be the 3rd first down of the game for the Buffaloes. Smallwood tries the left side, gains a couple of yards. Nice job again by that Angelo State defensive front. Some pushing and shoving after the play.
Yeah.
Big number 94, Owen Seaver. First man through there for the Rams.
Case 2 brings up 2nd down.
WT now with 5 minutes and before halftime. Smallwood again to the left. Tough running will gain yardage to the WT 48, 49 make it. So it sets up a 3rd down and 5.
Buffs trying to get into Ram territory for only the 2nd time in the ball game. Everybody up on the line. Nobody really back, only one deep safety. Now they switched it up a little bit.
Play clock is under 10 seconds.
So that let you know their press coverage, they feel confident with only one safety back deep.
Brown on the run, and it was nearly intercepted. He had Bogardus kind of behind the defensive back, but the ball was thrown short and in front and incomplete.
Andrew Pitts brings up 4th down.
So brings up a punting situation, we assume, for the Buffaloes here with 4:17 left to play in this first half. And again, for the Buffaloes, Seth Ford has done a nice job of punting.
This one does take a good WT bounce, and Angelo State fields it. The return will be back up to the 10-yard line. Andrew Pitts living life
on the edge.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, but the thing is, and you say that, but at the same time, that's to prevent it from going back to the 5 or the 3 or something.
Yep.
So he at least gets them out to the 10.
Okay, we'll have a media timeout. 4:08 to play before halftime. Rams lead 14-3 over West Texas A&M.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
Choosing the right countertops for your kitchen can be tricky. Nowadays, there are hundreds of colors, patterns, and textures and materials that range from natural to engineered stone. Marble Depot is here for you throughout every step of the process. And yes, we do have a lot of options that might make that decision a little harder, but we're also going to ask the right questions so that you get the most out of your investment. So come by our showroom and let us help create what you've been dreaming of.
Well, welcome back. 14-3 our score. Angelo is in front over the Buffaloes. Buffaloes special teams. Seth Ford drives this one back to the 10-yard line, so that's where the Ram offense will start with 4:08 left to play here in the first half.
United Supermarket.
United Supermarket. I don't know if I might be able to make one of those, I think. The short one, maybe not
the
either
short one.
one.
Okay. Could you make it on the move?
Yes.
Okay.
You have to get me rolling out of the pocket.
Who do you got tonight at the baseball game, Bryce? Game 2?
I tell you what, man, what an exciting finish for the Rangers last night.
It was.
My son actually was there at that ball game. He said it was incredible, the atmosphere and everything else. He said it was so much fun as his company got him tickets to be able to go. And so, again, should be a good one tonight.
Angelo State will run the quarterback, and the Buffs do a better job that time. Coming up to make the tackle, I believe, for WT.
And again, that was Brandon Fuller, the quarterback.
Okay, Kobe Burgess, number 31, who got some playing time last week at safety. He makes that tackle. 11 tackles last week on the road at Central Washington. He's a youngster, too.
Kobe Burgess brings up 2nd down.
Yeah, a lot of young guys on this club.
Running play, the Buffs, you do a good job again.
That's a great job. Preston Suzuki came up from his safety position, turned that back to the inside, and then is able to wrap up and make the stop.
Yeah, defense is battling, Bryce. There's an injured Ram down at the end of that play.
That's the running
back. Yeah, Alfred Greer.
Injury timeout.
It's slow to get up.
Timeout.
But this defense, fighting tough. You know, they're hanging in there. You're only giving up 14 points to a team that averages 30 per game, 32 Angelo State does. But the offense right now, I mean, the numbers don't lie. 244 total yards of offense for Angelo State, just 41 for West Texas A&M. Way too many times that we've seen the punter come out, Seth Ford.
And they have to punt it away. You know, the thing about it, too, though, the nice thing, defensively, a lot of, as you talked about, a lot of young guys, so a lot of guys will be back. And so that's really a nice building block to build upon for the Buffs this year. And again, you know, they've got to work through some things offensively, a new system, trying to figure out, you know, do we get the right running backs in? Do we have the right quarterbacks? Do we have the right receivers? You know, all those things that come into play. And so, you know, that's the thing the coaches will work through as they go through the offseason. And I'm not jumping ahead. We still have another game yet to go, the wagon wheel game against Eastern next week. And so, thankfully, the running back just got up, and he's going to be able to walk off under his own power, so that's great to see. And so, again, just there are a lot of building blocks, and it just takes a little bit of time.
For Angelo State, they have 2 more games on the schedule. November 4th at home against Midwestern State, and then they close out the season November 11th against Western Oregon.
The Buffs were supposed to have a 11th game, but because of scheduling conflicts, they could not pick up an extra game this year.
All right, 2 tight ends on the field here for the Rams on 3rd down and 4 from their own 16-yard line. Gardner takes his drop. Ball down the field, and it's a perfect throw and catch to the receiver number 10, Kyle Bradford. Laid in the breadbasket.
Well, Charles Henderson was there, but Bradford just got some distance. And you're right, just a perfect pitch and catch. And a nice pass from Gerald Gardner to his intended target that time, and he was able to pull that one in.
Here's a replay in great protection.
Got an injury up there on Ty Dillon.
A nice reception there. 1st and 10 Rams. Gardner, see what they do here with Case and Phillips in at running back. It's going to be a pass play. Gardner takes a couple of steps to the left, and the ball was stripped away. I think that's an incomplete pass.
Yeah, they will call that incomplete, but a nice job of swiping it away. If we got an opportunity, Kent Johnson is standing by. He's got an injury update for us. So let's head down to the field and Kent Johnson. Kent?
Yeah, Bryce, a few series ago, cornerback Ty Dillon was taken off the field with an apparent lower leg injury. He rolled his ankle, but I've been told by the athletic medicine staff they've taped him back up, and he's been cleared to return to play. Back upstairs.
All right, nothing a little bit of that athletic tape won't do, right, Bryce?
A little dirt, rub it on it, good to go.
Cason Phillips, a run over the right side. Good job by Kobe King to come up and make a good tackle.
And the defense has really stepped up on the run game because their first series they were able to run quite effectively.
Injury timeout.
Another injury player timeout. Down for the Rams. It's one of their offensive linemen, number 79, Dalton Perry, this time. We'll step aside, take a quick timeout. 3rd down and 7 coming up. When we come back, Angelo State leads the Buffs 14-3 here in the first half.
It's got the looks, the style, the performance. Your new car is everything you always dreamed of, and now it's here. First Financial Bank was happy to help put you behind the wheel with a new car loan at a competitive rate and fast, friendly, local approval. It's service that just comes naturally to us, much like a love of tradition comes naturally to you. First Financial Bank, you first. Member FDIC.
26 left to play in the first half. Starting center for Angelo State, Dalton Perry, shaken up on the field, and looks like they're about ready to help him up and get him to the sideline. And so, again, credit this offensive line. They have been very effective so far for Angelo as the Rams have been able to rush for 183 yards in the first half so far. So part of that is because of their center. So, again, they'll have a substitute come in.
All right, 3rd down. The Rams have been really good
Coming out of that timeout,
tonight on 3rd down, 4th down as well. 4 for 7 on 3rd downs, 1 for 2 on 4th down. Phillips, the running back to the left. The quarterback, Gerald Gardner. Nothing going left. Now he'll run to the right. Gets a big old pancake block from his offensive lineman. And then, they're going to throw a flag at the end of that run. Bryce, that was tough. The quarterback was right there on the edge, close to the sideline. Defender, pushes him, and he runs into that WT sideline, and they throw the penalty marker.
Well, the side judge lost his hat, too. I was curious on that one.
Personal foul, late hit out of bounds. Defense, number 45, 15-yard penalty from the end of the run.
That would not have been a first down, obviously.
No, they had made the stop. And so, again, late hit out of bounds.
Coach Lynn furious down there on the sideline. And, again, it's one of those plays where, as a defender, the game has changed so much that it really changes as you're going full speed what you're thinking about at the end of a play. And they're going to protect the quarterback, so a call made, and the first down given to the Rams. Fresh set of downs. And the running back in is Braden Wilcox. This will be a pass. Gardner to the end zone, and it's dropped.
Well, that's lucky for the Buffs because the receiver, Donnie Bishop, was out there by himself.
Yeah.
But the pass was too far. He had to dive for it as it was going out of bounds and wasn't able to pull that one in.
Closest maroon and white colored, I can't say jersey, but the cheerleaders were actually closer to than one of the secondary players.
No, that's exactly right. Yeah, nobody in the gray
because they were behind the end zone
was down there, and so the Buffs were in their gray tops tonight. And so,
would that be interference if one of the cheerleaders got in the way? And probably,
I don't know. That's a Cal Band thing. Yep. I don't know. Is that interference?
Second down and 10. Gardner, again, outstanding protection all day. And nobody was open. He just throws this ball out of bounds. So that's a good secondary play there for the
absolutely. That's exactly where I was going with that. Credit the secondary that they were beat on the last play, but that time they were matched up man-on-man, and basically there was nowhere for Gardner to go to. He just has to throw that around. So it brings up a third down and 10. 1:28 left to play here in the first half. 14-3. Angelo with the lead. Cold fall evening. Cold, damp fall evening.
All right, Gardner will go empty backfield with 5 wide receivers. Surveying the field. And he's stripped, and the ball is loose. And Angelo State able to recover it. A huge recovery by one of the offensive linemen as WT got pressure. It was, again, good coverage down the field. Here's your replay, Bryce.
Yeah, and again, watch this fighting through. Linebacker comes up, swats at it, knocks it away.
I think it was Goo that got an arm in there.
Or it was, okay.
Or, I couldn't see the number on it. Might have been.
Timeout. West Texas A&M.
Okay, WT takes a timeout.
Actually, I think that who was able to come in on that play was Andrew
Lauritsen.
Okay. He's the one that came in and just fought through and knocked the ball away.
Timeout taken. We'll step aside, come right back with a 4th down and 18 play for Angelo State. Rams lead 14-3 over the Buffs.
Welcome back to Bain Schaefer Stadium. Buffs with a nice again, the defense has really played well tonight. I mean, I know they trail 14-3, but for the most part, they've been able to get to the quarterback, especially here in the second quarter. That sack on Gardner produces a 4th down. Let's see if we're going to have a short kick.
High into the air. After WT just get away from it, and it does fortunately go into the end zone. Angelo State had 2 players down there, but it just took a bounce that was hard for them to keep it from going behind them.
So 1:03 left to play here in the first half. Buffs still have a couple of timeouts if they need to use it, but they've got to get the offense doing something a little different than they've done in this first half. And so, again, I don't know if that's moving the pocket for Kyle Brown or what it may be.
Travion McCoy-Gay will come back in at running back. Yeah, because you're only down by 11 points.
Right.
On first down, running play, McCoy-Gay.
Get out to the 20, almost the 25-yard line, so about 5 yards on that scamper. Clock continues to run.
Number 19, Isaiah Smallwood, the ball carrier. Taken down by number 13, Tristan Catan. Brings up second down.
Yeah, Angelo State's out of timeout, so
they're not going to stop the clock.
No.
Yeah, they can't. The Buffs are going to see what they can get out of this.
Kind of weaving through traffic.
That's a nice run.
McCoy-Gay's
didn't get a good spot on it. He was up to the 30, but the far sideline official marks him back at the 29-yard line.
Well, the Buffs do not have to take another snap if they don't want to, and it looks like that's going to be the case. They're going to walk off the field and head to the locker room. And, Bryce, here's one thing I will say is the body language right now does not look good. I mean, it's some players right there coming off the field looking like they're frustrated. So they have some things to figure out here at
the end of the first half.
In a first half that was not great, but at the same time, you look at the scoreboard and you're still in this game.
No, you definitely are. I mean, it's one of those things where the Buffaloes' defense has kind of picked up the tempo here a little bit. We just need to find a way to get the offense in some kind of rhythm in this second half.
Right now, Bryce, total yardage 284 for Angelo State. Just 50 yards of offense for the Buffs. 52 yards on the ground, -2 passing yards.
All right. Time now to head down to the sideline. Here's Kent Johnson with Josh Lynn. Kent?
Down on the sidelines with West Texas A&M head coach Josh Lynn. And as we've seen so many games, your defense plugging in there, but got to get the offense cranking.
Get the offense going. They're doing a good job of changing up looks. We need to find a way to run the football, okay, and then that'll open up our passing game. At the end of the day, we got to run the football.
I know Ty Dillon went out for a few series, but he's okay to come back in.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Okay, that's good. We're going to need him.
We'll let you get back up in the locker room and devise it up. That's Josh Lynn, as we said earlier. Ty Dillon rolled an ankle earlier. He's been cleared to come back in the second half. Guys, let's go back upstairs to you.
All right, Kent, thanks very much. And I think as the game progresses, Kent's getting colder. He's got the hat on now, including the beanie. And so, again, I'm not going to criticize because I'm up here in a warm booth and he's out on the sideline. But nevertheless, Josh Lynn said we got to get the running game going, and the Buffs have been unable to do that. And so they've got to find that spark in their running attack. What is that option that they can do to get to the outside and make things happen?
Yeah, Buffs looking for some answers, and we'll see what adjustments can be made. It is Angelo State leading at halftime 14-3. You're watching the Buffs and the Rams here on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
West is the comprehensive fundraising campaign designed to fuel WT 125 from the Panhandle to the world. We will strengthen WT's impact for the Panhandle region and beyond through a historic, comprehensive campaign, raising $125 million by 2025. The campaign's 3 priorities: people, programs, and places. Now is the time to make a difference for current and future generations. One West.
Hey, I'm Kari Belmares, and welcome back to the last episode of Beyond the Athlete. Today we're sitting down with Justine Navarra, who plays softball for West Texas A&M University, Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. So the team has had a few practice games recently. What are you most excited about for this season?
Honestly, I'm just excited to see how far we can go this year. We went pretty far last year, and we have a lot of new girls, so it's exciting to see like how far you can go with a bunch of new girls. Plus, this fall we've had our highs, we've had our lows, but I feel like that's kind of what is going to make us stronger for in season. So it's exciting to see like what we can do next season.
Yeah, that is exciting. How did you begin playing softball?
That's actually crazy because my brother played baseball growing up, and everyone compares softball and baseball to one another, and I just knew that I wanted to be like my brother growing up, which is crazy, but he throws right-handed, he hits left-handed, so I decided that's exactly what I'm going to do. And I would just say sports are such a big thing in our family, but the sad thing is my mom wanted me to get into music and dance, and I'm the most uncoordinated person, and I can't sing to save my life at all.
That's okay. I've always wanted to ask this question. It's kind of random, but do you ever get nervous, like knowing just how fast these balls are like thrown and it's like coming straight at you?
It's crazy because they're actually not going straight at you sometimes because they've got some different shapes, spins on them all the time. And each pitcher is so different from one another that no pitcher is the same and no ball comes at you the same way. So it gets scarier each time. Yes.
I would have never thought about that. Yeah, that's why I don't play softball. So what's your favorite part about being a student athlete?
Honestly, just meeting other student athletes and getting to hear their stories and their struggles, because we all have one common goal, which is to win a national championship. But like hearing how other sports have to reach that goal and how we reach that goal, it's just nice to bond over like the same goals and like the same struggles.
Definitely, yeah. How would you say you've stayed so devoted to your sport over the years?
I would say that it has to be my teammates. A big thing that we preach here is that we are a family culture. Like all 20 of those girls on my team are my sisters. Like if I needed them right now, I could call them and they'd be here in a second. Like we just have made this connection that like you want to fight for your sisters, like
Definitely.
your family, like you don't want to let nobody down. So it's just like the passion you see in their eyes like motivates you just to keep going.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's a good environment to be in. You're from California,
yes.
Which is completely different from Texas. Did you ever imagine yourself leaving your home state, coming to Texas to play softball?
I always knew I wanted to leave home, but I never thought maybe 18 hours. But it's honestly been such a great thing leaving home because you just get to grow up so much on your own. Like you fail on your own and you succeed on your own, because when you're home, mom and dad are there to pick you back up, but here they're just a phone call away. But honestly, it's been the best thing for me being away, just because I've gotten to grow in so many different aspects of life.
Definitely. With Halloween coming up, a lot of athletes have their own superstitions. Do you or the team have any?
I always say that I don't have any superstitions, but I wear the same pink ribbon every game since my freshman year of college, and I don't know what it is. It just has worked for me, and it's the same one. Like when I lose it, I freak out. But also, our big team one right now is we wear these crazy hats in the dugout. Like if you ever come to a game, you'll see us in like sparkly pink cowgirl hats. It worked one game, and we just have carried it on with us, and it's probably been the funnest thing because it just makes the environment so much fun to be around, and we keep winning when we wear those hats.
Yeah, definitely. Why not keep wearing them? You're graduating in December. What are your plans for the future?
So after I graduate in December, I plan to do sports management here at WT in their master's program so I can continue playing for my last senior season.
Okay.
But I want to be an English teacher in the high school level, which is crazy because high school students, they can be a lot.
Yeah.
But I just love being able to give the same passion I have about something to other people.
Definitely. Well, if you love it, there's nothing wrong with it. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank
I really
you for
appreciate
having
it.
me.
Of course, yes. And thank you for tuning in over the years.
Welcome to Shimon Dental Group, where every day we're excited to see our patients. Welcome to Shimon Dental Group, where every day we're excited to see our patients and treat them like family. We are dedicated to providing you with the highest quality care in a friendly and comfortable environment. Shimon Dental Group's patient-focused philosophy puts your needs front and center.
We are constantly investing in leading-edge technology. Innovations that speed the treatment process and improve aesthetics. We're expanding the breadth of our cosmetic and restorative services through training to provide the best possible outcomes.
Just with the level of commitment that they show to taking care of my family and I, it's absolutely unmatched in this town, so I've been very happy with them.
Brightening smiles for more than 3 decades.
Contact Shimon Dental Group for your appointment today.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Contact Jeff Gilbert for your personal price plan today.
Stadium, the Buffaloes trail here at the half to Angelo State, 14-3. Ken Johnson, when we kind of take a look at the stats, they kind of go along with what the score is right now. Angelo's really kind of controlled things a little bit and been able to move the football, and the Buffs still trying to find that offensive spurt.
Well, only having 52 yards of total offense, 15 offensive snaps. Angelo State, 177 passing yards, 284 total off 37 snaps. And then you look at the defensive side, when your safety, Preston Suzuki's leading you in tackles. He has 7. Fortunately, he's got 2 forced fumbles, but the tackles are too far downfield. You know, Coach Lynn said you got to focus on running the football. You know, when they've tried to run the football thus far, it's all been horizontally, sideline to sideline, and Angelo State's too quick to cut that.
Well, and our leading
hit something up the middle.
Yeah, our leading rusher right now is Kyle Brown, and so you don't want your quarterback to be the leading rusher, and so he's got 31 yards so far. His longest has been a 15-yard scamper, and so again, the Buffs are having trouble getting the offense going, but that's what they need to do. They need to get the running game going, whatever that maturation looks like, whatever they're able to do. On the other side, though, as you're mentioning, it's really been a good half. Gerald Gardner's 5-9, 107 yards passing. He's thrown for 1 touchdown. And then rushing, they've got a trio of guys. Kason Phillips has 69 yards, Alfred Greer 65, Braden Wilcox 22. And so those guys have been able to move the football. Credit that offensive line. They've been opening up some holes.
Well, they're strong. I mean, they were the preseason favorite.
Right.
Not every game has gone their way, but they've been in every game, and they're showing tonight that they're a mature team.
Yeah, they definitely are. We're going to take a timeout. We'll do so, and we'll come back again. Our score here at the half: the Buffs Buffs trail this one 14-3. The Rams lead this one. We'll be back to Bain Schaefer right after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
Where are we going, and how are we going to get there? Get there with room to spare in your new Ford Expedition from Tri-State Ford on I-40 at Ross. Grab your friends and go. Tons of new Fords are rolling in. Face the road ahead in a dependable truck, the built Ford Tough F-150. Looking for more horsepower? Saddle up the legendary Ford Mustang. Or how about a new Bronco or a Maverick? We've got your new ride. You'll find friendly hometown service every day at Tri-State Ford. Come see us on I-40 at Ross.
The best tailgates start with the best beef, and the best beef starts with Market Street. Market Street, where we do beef the best.
This is gonna be tough. I mean, that's a bag full of Whataburger's Buffalo Ranch chicken strip sandwiches with tangy buffalo sauce and creamy buttermilk ranch, melty Monterey Jack cheese, and 3 crunchy chicken strips. How long will you have to wait before you enjoy yours? Oh, about that long. Whataburger's Buffalo Ranch chicken strip sandwich is back for a limited time, just like you like it.
Well, welcome back to Bain Schaefer Stadium, First United Bank Field, Buffalo's trail here at the half, 14-3. And again, Lucas, it's been, you and I have talked off mic quite a bit.
Yeah.
What can the Buffaloes do to get the offense going? Because the defense is playing really well. I know we're trailing 14-3, but keep in mind, too, that first touchdown came kind of on a busted play where they were able to get a quick score following a turnover, and so that put them up 7-0. And then the second score was legitimate. That was a drive that they continued on and were able to get their running game going in that contest.
And you know, this is what you don't know with Chase Kaiser, offensive coordinator. What do you have in the bag going into this game? Do you have a jet sweep with a wide receiver? I mean, we got some speed, obviously, with those guys because the drop-back passing game has just not worked. And there have been some plays, Bryce, to defend Kyle Brown just a little bit, at halftime, where the receivers are simply not open. I mean, he's taking his drop or he's rolling out of the pocket looking, and Angelo State is blanketing the Buffs wide receivers. So Shaq Brown, there's another option. Do you go direct snap with him, bring some extra blockers in and just try to do something different? Because right now Angelo State defensively, they're putting the personnel on the field that's aligning to what the Buffs can and cannot do. And it simply is a big advantage right now for Rams defense, which is pretty solid.
So what you're saying true is what's in your bag of tricks that you've practiced on that you can pull out when you need to. That's a totally different to get your running game going, and that's probably what the Buffs are going to have to do.
Yeah, and going into this game again, Cannon Gibson, you knew you were going to be without him.
Right.
And tonight they really have missed the freshman quarterback from Wink in terms of just the versatility that he brings.
Right.
If the pocket collapses, now he's getting out and he's running for big gains. And so I do think, though, that Buffs need a good start offensively in this third quarter of just moving the football, because you did see at the end, Bryce, there's some frustration starting to build.
What's tough, too, is Angelo won the toss, so they get the ball to start the second half, and so the Buffs defense is going to have to come out and be able to make a stop and then hopefully get the offense with those adjustments that they've made that'll be able to come out and get it going.
Yeah, for Angelo State on the other side, you were talking to Ken about it, but they have a lot of multiple players that they have been able to throw out the Buffs, whether it's the running backs, Greer, Wilcox, Kaysen Phillips, and then you got to be impressed with what Gardner has done from the quarterback spot as well. He's been on the money.
He really has. 5 and 9, 107 yards. Guy has a touchdown. He's only sacked one time. And so, again, he can now, the interesting thing about that is that they've used some backup quarterbacks when it's a running situation. So they really haven't put him in a running situation. They've allowed the backups to come in and carry that. I guess that's kind of the signal when you see one of those two come in. You know, at least the quarterback's going to run with the football.
Yeah, defensively for West Texas A&M. Again, some good things there, some hard hitting, and they've stood tall a couple times, got a fourth down stand when they needed it to. But the other thing, too, is at some point the defense starts to get tired. They're on the field a lot.
Yeah, and that's the thing. In fact, our friend Jordan Johnson, a former WT player, was just in the booth here a moment ago. We would love for him to play if he could, if he had eligibility left. But nevertheless, the thing about it, we talked about that. That's what's wrong with the defense from the standpoint of they do just get tired, and so they have to kind of wrap it up that way. So, all right, second half about set to get underway, as both teams are back out on this rainy, wet evening in West Texas, as both the temperature is dropping and the wind is picking up just a little bit out of the northeast. And so Ken Johnson talked about that. The wind out of the northeast now will be an issue as it is picked up. And again, the rain on our windows is pretty evident, so the moisture is picking up.
You know, that just shows all you need is a hoodie and a coffee, and you can still have fun.
I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I like being
Bryce,
in
you're
this
supposed
booth.
to like the cold weather.
I know. I'm from the north, but I just don't. And so, again, a moist evening, and so the bus will kick this one off to get the second half underway. Angelo State getting pumped up as they bring out their receiving team as they await the kick from West Texas as we get set for our second half of action. Angelo State leading this one 14-3. And again, the bus will be going from left to right, so they'll have the wind at their back here as they start this third quarter.
Some quick scores for you, Bryce, from around the conference. UT Permian Basin, 28-3. They lead in the fourth quarter against Western Oregon. Midwestern State leads early third quarter, 16-0 over Western New Mexico. And that's all the scores that we have so far.
It's kicked out of the back of the end zone, so touchback on the kickoff.
You know, the other thing on weather games like tonight, it's cold and rainy, and you find out who loves football, right?
Yeah, you do. You absolutely do. And so, again, I was just watching that as Angelo State players came out to receive that kickoff. A couple of those guys fired up. They love the elements. They love what's going on. They love the stadium, and they're just happy to be out there and ready to go. But, again, this foggy, rainy mist, much heavier now. We're going to have to get out the squeegees on the windows.
Gardner on first down, hands off to the running back Wilcox, trying the right side, and Isaac Soper was there along with J.T. Cavender to stop the running back for a very short gain. Again, there have been some times tonight where the Buff defense has done a really good job against the Angelo State running attack.
We'll tell you that Dalton Perry, who was injured in that first half, the starting center, is back out there for Angelo. So they have their starting unit out there as well.
Quick throw, and it's dropped. That one was going to be a first down as the defensive back was playing deep, and the receiver, number 6, Kel Williams, don't know if he just took his eye off of it or, again, if it just...
Yeah, I don't know if you heard footsteps coming up that time for the Buffaloes was Freddie Simmons. And so I don't know if Freddie kind of caused him to take his eye off or whatever. But in that particular play, that's the quarterback throws a perfect strike, and the receiver's job should be just to catch that and turn upfield.
On third down and long. Wilcox stays in as the running back, set to the right. Play clock down to 2 seconds. They just get it off. Gardner looks left, nobody open. Now he'll tuck it and run. One man to beat, and it's Jimmy Harrison with a huge hit, about 3 yards short of the first down.
That's a big tackle by Jimmy Harrison as he was the lone man there in the center of the field.
Yeah.
And he just dared the quarterback to juke one way or the other, but he was going to read it. He did and stopped him and forces this punting situation.
Good start for the WT defense, forcing a punt. We'll see Cade Fuller, high snap. Nice job by Fuller to go up and get that punt. It's going to go past Tyler Sweet, let that one go, and it's going to be down at the 16-yard line. Angelo State fortunate that snap, again, did not go over Fuller's head.
That was, again, conditions are tough right now, and especially when you haven't practiced in any of this type of weather, and so both teams are trying to adapt to what's going on out on the field.
All right, so the Buff defense does the job and needs some help here from this West Texas A&M offense to start the second half.
McCoy Gay will open up as the running back, along with Kyle Brown at quarterback.
Shaq Brown, the tight end, motions and now sets on the right side. McCoy Gay through the first tackler, and it's a nice run.
It is. That was a very nice run. It got about 6 yards on it. Had an open hole to run through that time, got up the middle, and before one of the linebackers able to come up and make the stop.
Brings up second down.
Buffs hurry up the tempo here. On second down and 4. Again, running play. McCoy Gay, just a very short gain. This time the Rams were there.
Got about a yard on that one.
Number 33, Travion McCoy Gay,
It was Amaya Williams with the tackle, the defensive lineman, number 92.
Brings up third down.
Third down and about 3 here for the Buffs.
Buffs line up quickly. That does not allow for the Rams to change any personnel, and that's why they do that. Then everybody looks over the sideline and gets the play sent in.
And just one high safety, playing deep, and everybody else is up in press coverage.
Yeah.
And they run it. McCoy Gay, nothing there initially. Tried to get to the edge, and it's going to be a nice stop for Angelo State. Number 41, Josh Booker Brown, makes the tackle. And you say you want to establish the run game. That play right there, Bryce, seemed like Angelo State was not thinking pass whatsoever.
And what's not good at all, David Williams, starting center, comes up hobbling, and he limps his way over to the sideline. So again, that's one of the things where I have a backup guard in there in Nico Castaneda.
Low snap. Ford picks it up. There wasn't much of a rush from Angelo State, so he gets away the punt, which hits at the 31-yard line, and it will take a good WT bounce, a little bit of a bounce inside the 30-yard line. So Ford, again,
does a nice job.
He really does.
I mean, gets a nice high punt, not really returnable, so does a nice job.
For Ford, that was his 7th punt of the ball game. Media timeout comes with 11 minutes, 25 seconds left here in quarter number 3. Rams lead it 14-3 over the Buffaloes.
Media.
This isn't just any burger run. This is a burger run for Whataburger's sweet and spicy bacon burger. 2 fresh all-beef patties with melty cheese, grilled onions, crispy bacon, and sweet and spicy pepper sauce. One for you, one for him, and one for your unofficial roommate, Brad. Always order an extra. For Brad. The all-time favorite sweet and spicy bacon burger from Whataburger. Just like you like it.
Since 1910, WT and the Department of Agricultural Sciences has provided high-quality education to the students of the Panhandle and beyond.
At WT, professors know me and are committed to my success.
If you want to get an ag industry job, WT is where you need to be.
I don't want just a job and a paycheck after graduation. I want a career where I can make a difference.
WT invested in my career. I intend to pay it forward.
Well, then we cut to a shot where nobody's dancing. They got the dance cam going on, but they cut to a shot. Nobody's dancing over there.
Some of the Lady Buff softball players, Heidi Vortherm's in the crowd. Bryce, they beat Texas Tech 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Exhibition game.
Yeah. And again, Coach Mooket's got another good team coming back. kind of ready for the spring a little bit to see what they've got going on. But again, Buff punt this one away, and so nice punt for the Buffs. As Seth Ford able to get that one down to the 28-yard line.
Yeah, but you don't want to have a game where your punter is nearly in double digits.
No. You don't want a game where your punter is your MVP.
All right, Angelo State offense on the field for the second time in the half. Kason Phillips, good cut, stays on his feet. Kason Phillips into the free in the Buff territory at the 30-yard line. He'll be taken down by Kendall Brewer. And that's a great run by Phillips because initially he kind of ran into a little bit of a wall, sidestepped, and then hit the gear.
Well, and Kendall Brewer that time was the lone safety back for the Buffaloes, and so he was on a man defensively who was blocking downfield. And Brewer was able to fight the block off and go over and make the touchdown-saving tackle. He was the only one that was going to come up with that play and did a nice job.
So a big chunk run play again for Angelo State. The second long run of the night for Kason Phillips. Handoff. Buff's big hit on the running back that time, Alfred Greer.
One of the first ones up there in that was Xavier Rivera. X-Man was there and was able to get in. And
that was actually a new running back. I apologize. That was Jaden Jones, number 31, his first carry tonight. Jones, a 5'8" freshman out of Yoakum High School, Yoakum, Texas.
The mist or really the rain is getting a little stronger now.
This will be a play-action play. Quarterback hit, throws it down the field. Receiver trying to make a play, and referee trying to get that flag out of his pocket.
Man.
Yeah, it was a late flag, but I saw the official down there, and even the officials are having trouble with this wet weather.
Trying to dig it out.
Yes, so that's going to be a pass interference against the Buffaloes.
Pass interference, defense number 37, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Well, Calder Jr. was down there in coverage. He's asking the official what, because he retreated back to the end zone where the player was as he fell down. And I think what the official thought was he probably helped him fall down, and that's where that penalty came.
And a good throw as well from Gardner. You know, he had to have known he was about to get hit.
Right.
That pressure coming in his face, and he stood tall. Here's a quarterback back in, number 16, Braden Fuller. We've seen three different quarterbacks tonight, and the Rams, when they bring in Fuller or Chad Ferries,
it's a run.
It is. Buffs know it.
Nobody was fooled by that.
Nice play that time. As Texas A&M defensively, Soso Sakimi comes in and makes a nice tackle.
Josh Baird helped out on that as well, and so again they read what was going on and throw for a 1-yard loss. So it makes it second down. They can pick up a first down before getting in the end zone. Second down and 11.
Twin receivers on both sides for Gerald Gardner. Who this evening hasn't had to throw it too often, but 50% passing. This is a run up the middle. For a few yards, they get it down to the 9-yard line.
That was a nice play by Josh Baird, too, that time, is because Josh was at the outside linebacker. He was going to come on a blitz, and then he read the handoff, and so he slid down the line and filled the hole and was able to make the stop. They did get 3 yards on the carry, but it could have been much more if Josh doesn't go down and makes that stop.
And Braden Wilcox, number 21, on the carry. Rams have Kason Phillips, the lead rusher, with 115 yards. Greer has 65 yards and a touchdown. And Wilcox, after that carry, now has 30 yards rushing. 3rd down and 8. Gardner going to throw this ball, and it is dropped. It was in the hands and then out. Kendall Brewer on the coverage against the receiver, Rasheem Green, and it'll be 4th down. Angelo State will bring the field goal team on.
Yeah, that was a nice pass to Green that time, too, and he just could not find the handle. Credit the coverage there. He had man-on-man coverage, and so got knocked away as the ball got there as well. But, again, nice throw from Gerald Gardner, and that's what you ask your quarterback is just put the ball on the money and let your receivers work from there.
Here comes kicker for Angelo State, Brad Larson, one of the best in Division II this season. And a chip shot here for Larson. That one spotted from the 9-yard line. 26-yard field goal is right down the middle for the Rams, so they add their lead. It's now 17-3, 8:28 to play in the third quarter. Buffs get the football when we come back here from Bain Schaefer Buffalo Stadium.
Energy is a glowing sphere of hot gas. It's an ocean of air. And at Excel Energy, we make it safe. It's why we train first responders. Help you identify where utility lines are buried. Sir, do not dig there. And it's why we study the flight paths of majestic golden eagles before we build a wind farm. Safer energy, people. It's all part of a carbon-free 2050. You, us, together.
Well, a 6-play drive for Angelo State, covers 63 yards. They settle for a 26-yard field goal, took 2:57 off the clock. And now the Rams lead at 17-3 as the crowd getting into it in this weather. Yeah,
the Rams are getting into it as well. That's a way to keep yourself warm there. The kickoff team, they're over there dancing, and they may be having a dance competition with the WT students.
Yeah,
some of the Angelo State fans made the trip over here to watch the Rams. But
and again, we're talking about staying warm. Players trying to get loose to stay warm. And again, this is the first time, most likely this year, for both of these teams to be in adverse conditions. I know fall is football weather, but you just don't really necessarily need the moisture to complicate things a little bit.
All right, WT, see if they can get a good return here. Kenneth Red Jr. will have this ball go through his hands and out of bounds. So they're not going to be able to get the return.
Well, he tried to set it up and just bobbled it. Again, the football's wet, and so it came in, and he just kind of lost it and just couldn't keep it from going out of bounds. And so they'll mark it at the 13-yard line.
Well, still, you're only down by 2 touchdowns here, but the longer this game goes, and Coach talked about it at halftime, wanting to be able to run the football, that gets thrown out the window, though, and you're going to have to throw if you want to get back in this game. Brown, before he can take his drop, penalty marker drops, and the Buffs false start.
False start. Offense number 59. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
On the line. It came from the side, Judge. I thought it was probably on the receivers over there. There's 2 receivers on the far side of the field, but Matthew Ames gets whistled for the miscue. So they mark it back 5 yards to the 7.
Isaiah Smallwood in as the running back. Brown takes his drop. He just threw it to the ground.
Yeah, and wanted to make sure there wasn't a holding penalty. He was in the end zone, so that can be a conundrum if you do something like that. And so it brings up second down. And 15. Credit the front 5, really. You got 3 down linemen and 2 linebackers that march up, and so they've made it difficult for the Buffs to get any kind of running game going tonight.
Brown throws, Bogardus makes the catch, and then stepped out of bounds before he could get back up the field at the 14-yard line, so it's a pickup of 6.
Ball at the 14-yard line, third down.
No other lead receiving target tonight. Third catch for 8 yards. And it's a 3rd down and 9 here for West Texas A&M. from their own 14-yard
You know,
line.
you'd like to see that. We haven't seen it, but you'd like to see a crossing pattern coming over across the middle.
Rams bring pressure. There's a throw and a catch for a big first down, and they found it with Tyler Sweet.
A little up and in that time for Tyler Sweet. And so, again, good separation you'll watch on this one. Nice little stutter step, then goes in the zone. They had a zone that time, and so he goes in the middle of the zone, able to pull that one in for the first down.
And maybe with that completion right there, that can get the Buffs sparked a little bit. 1st and 10, they move the football out, and a little bit more breathing room here. Longest pass play of the night for West Texas A&M. Snap, fumbled a little bit, but Brown was able to get it back, throws this ball down the field, and Sweet makes the catch, and a defender is down, and is at the 10-5 touchdown Buffaloes. They threw a penalty marker back at the 40-yard line.
And I'm afraid that's going to be on Tyler Sweet on the push-off because
if he's coming back for the football, though, Bryce, or did you see him push off?
No, I agree with you. He was coming back, but I think to get separation to come back to the football.
If the ball is underthrown, he has a right to come back and get it. Now, he doesn't have a right to push off.
Officials are talking about it. The two officials, the one that threw the flag.
But this will be devastating if this is against the Buffaloes.
Pass interference, offense.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Penalty from the previous spot.
I'd love to see this replay because, again, ball is underthrown and the receiver is taught to come back for the football.
Tyler's trying to plead his case, and instead Josh Lynn says, let me take care of pleading your case.
Yeah, I just, I'm not, without seeing it, I can't be exactly sure, but my eyes told me, Brown is slinging it down the field, trying to give the receiver a chance. The receiver has a right to come back for the football, and if the defender's, in front of him.
And Josh is still.
Yeah, I think Coach Lynn agrees with me. That was not a good call there at all. Should have been a touchdown. Instead, Buffs have the football all the way back to their own 17-yard line. Brown throws across, and he hits Sweet down to the 40-yard line.
Pass completed to number 1, Tyler Sweet.
So big pickup there for the Buffs.
Well, Tyler is finding something in the secondary that is his liking. And so, again, continue with the hot receiver.
Nearly picked up all that yardage that they lost on the penalty. 2nd down and 3. Brown, pump fake, throws this ball up for
that time
out of bounds.
They weren't on the same page. And so, again, he was trying to get it to Tyler. Tyler had gone up on the near sideline and then stopped to come back to his quarterback. And that time the pass was on up the field. So it brings up 3rd down and about 4. We've got to get to the 43-yard line to pick up the first down.
Clock stopped, 6 minutes, 30 seconds to play here in the 3rd quarter. Buffs trail by 2 touchdowns. They go on the ground. And strong running from Isaiah Smallwood is going to give the Buffs the first down. He carried 2 defenders to the 45-yard line.
Nice job by Isaiah. He was determined to pick up the first down, knew he needed 4, and he made sure he got 5.
Kyle Brown gets the call in. Rams stay back this time. Don't rush one of the linebackers. Brown now will run and throw it on the run. Catch made across the 50-yard line, and that's going to be a nice one there out to number 5, Chris Sims.
Chris, again, helped his quarterback. We talked about it earlier. Saw that he was running, so he turned and came back to him and gave him a big target to throw to.
2nd down short, low snap, but Smallwood was able to pick it up. Fortunately, it's going to lose a yard back to the 50, but that could have been worse.
Yeah, and I'm not sure on that one if it really wasn't snapped back. It kind of rolled back.
Yeah.
And Isaiah, nice heads-up play, just picks it up and takes off.
Again, making it difficult with this weather, obviously with the shotgun snap.
And actually the
new center
out there right now is Frankie McFadden.
who it was your original starting center to start the season.
Right.
Yeah, we saw David Williams
hobble off, yeah.
They motion Smallwood out of the backfield. Empty set here for Brown. Going to step up in the pocket and run, and Brown is 1 yard short of the first down. Needed to get to the 45. He got to the 46-yard line. Good tackle by Roscoe for Angelo State, and the Buffs.
Yeah, they're going to go for it. Yeah, absolutely.
This is the 46-yard line, brings up 4th down and 1.
And Angelo State, 7 players all up on the line of scrimmage.
They're anticipating the run, anticipate the Buffs will hand it off, or Kyle Brown will keep it. In fact, everybody now is up on the line.
They could get a home run ball on the outside if they want.
Kidding.
Brown throws it, and the receiver is tackled, slips, falls down. Angelo State intercepts it. And they're running it back to midfield. The interception from number 3, Andrew Pitts. And again, I'd like to see that last play because Coach Lynn arguing with the field judge. Unless the Buff receiver slipped, Bryce, he was held.
Thrown down. Yeah, he was thrown down. I mean, let's watch on the replay here. It'll come from the far side across the middle.
Kenneth Red Jr. And the feet get tangled up.
Yeah, he was tripped up.
Feet get tangled up. So, I guess that's
the
no call there.
Why they didn't throw the flag on that one.
Interception, and Angelo State, with the turnover, has the football on their side of the field.
Well, Jeffrey Kimmel, the field judge, is going to be worn out from
quarterback run here for the Rams around the edge. That's going to be a big first down. Another one picked up for Angelo State, this time by Chad Ferries.
Well, and again, it's just a lot of temperament right now for the Buff sideline right now, not getting the calls they feel like. Again, Josh is still working down the sideline on the field judge. And keeping the Ferries out there as well.
Yeah, Angelo State going to stay with this same set. Offensively, Buffs blitz JT Cavender. They run to the right side, and this is a big run that's going to get 8 yards. Still moving the pile forward. Ferries will not go down, and he gets another Ram first down. Wow. That was one where there was a collision, and then it just kept moving from right to left.
Well, and this is working exactly the way that Angelo State wants it to. They're going into the wind, and so keeping it on the ground. They don't have to pass. They have the lead 17-3. Clock's running, and so, again, you just keep your ground game churning it up.
Gardner gets back on the field as the quarterback, hands it off to Kason Phillips. Phillips is stood up by the Buff linebackers. Stopped after just a gain of 1. Down to 2 minutes, 25 seconds left, third quarter. Angelo State leading this one 17-3. Buffs got that field goal in the first half and really have not been close other than
this last drive that they had. Yeah, and they just couldn't
a touchdown
keep it
call
going.
back.
Yeah.
As Tyler Sweet caught a pass, went down the sideline for what looked like a touchdown, but it was called back for offensive pass interference. Rams got an interception, and now they're on the move again. Ferries back in at quarterback, running left. Buffs try to stand him up. And the whistles blow after a gain to the 23-yard line. Preston Staszewski, the leading tackler at halftime. He's in there making more tackles here in the third quarter.
Yeah, and again, it's a safeties, kind of a favorite type of game where you get to kind of press up a little bit. You know it's going to be a lot of running, and so you're looking for a hole to kind of slide through and make those stops.
All right, third down and long, and Angelo State is going to keep Ferries in at quarterback. They'll roll him to the right on a run play, getting downhill, hit hard, 2 yards short of the first down marker.
Kobe King comes over and just slides down and takes him down on the play. So they'll bring up 4th down and 2.
First down marker brings up 4th down.
They bring, Bryce, 2 extra offensive linemen on the field right now. There's lots of 60s and 70s out there. Another big tight end. And the Buffs,
sure the Buffs don't have too many players out there.
Yeah, WT takes a timeout to try to.
Yeah, they had 12 players out there at that time, making those mass substitutions.
They ought to let them have 12.
Well,
if Angelo,
no
Angelo
kidding.
State gets,
if they get it, well, congratulations.
So the timeout taken, and we'll keep it here. Kind of talk this one over at 17-3, Buffs trail. Trying to stay in this one. Looked like for the first time, had some offense going, but ends up being a turnover. And now the Rams, with a 4th down and short, they pick it up here, Bryce, and I want to say it seals the deal, but one more score and it could.
Well, yeah, and it could definitely. There's only 28 seconds left in the quarter. You still have another quarter to play, but you're right. The way they've been moving the football with over 371 yards so far and 264 of that on the ground, again, you're chewing up a lot of clock every time you have the football. Well, they switched it up. And they sent 3 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side on this 4th and 2.
Ferries is in at quarterback. He'll run straight ahead and a huge hole at the 10, 5, untouched. Touchdown Rams, 19 yards out for the quarterback from Friendship. And just like that, it is 23-3, Angelo State. I mean, look at this, Bryce.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the pattern. It was the same play, but the pattern changed. So they brought in 4 receivers to spread out the secondary, and that just opened up a big hole in the secondary for him to run through.
Another extra point attempt here for Brad Larson. He's been perfect tonight. Good snap to get the hold down, and Larson's extra point is through the uprights. It's 24-3, Angelo State. Buffs with 23 seconds left here in quarter number 3. We'll take the timeout, come back with more football here from Canyon, Texas.
It's got the looks, the style, the performance. Your new car is everything you always dreamed of, and now it's here. First Financial Bank was happy to help put you behind the wheel with a new car loan at a competitive rate and fast, friendly, local approval. It's service that just comes naturally to us, much like a love of tradition comes naturally to you. First Financial Bank, you first. Member FDIC.
Well, a 6-play drive that covers 51 yards, took 3:30 off the clock. It was a nice run by Chad Ferries into the end zone from 19 yards out. The extra point is good, and Angelo controls this one, leading 24-3 with 23 seconds left to play in the 3rd quarter.
Ball comes off the tee, so they'll reset it. Score update for you. The last score we had, Bryce, Kingsville, Texas A&M Kingsville was leading Central Washington going into the 4th quarter 10-7.
Oh,
so
there you go. Is that one in Kingsville? Or is that up in
Ellensburg?
Ellensburg.
That one is at Javelina Stadium.
There
tonight.
you go.
Our score here, 24-3, all Angelo State, and that ball, you see it just
hit
the pylon.
Yeah, it just did. You tried to angle it toward the corner, and that one does not go into the end zone, and so tack on a penalty.
Angelo State coach is wanting an explanation on it, but
well,
they're
there's
about
no
to get
explanation. It was pretty obvious from up here. I mean, it went out of bounds.
Kick out of bounds as a kick hit the pylon.
Oh, so okay. Well, maybe he did get the explanation. Maybe we were wrong. Maybe I was wrong on that one. So the Buffs will get it at the 25-yard line. Nice series last time out for the offense. They just need to kind of duplicate that. And, again, look primarily for Tyler Sweet.
Kyle Brown out of the gun on first down, hands it off. Smallwood running left. And good job.
There's a push.
Yeah, stayed on his feet, and the line got behind him and pushed him all the way up to the 31-yard line. Gained about 7 yards there for Isaiah Smallwood.
Yeah, nice push that time.
Final from Ratliff Stadium. UT Permian Basin holds on, beats Western Oregon 28-16.
That's the last play of the third quarter, 24-3.
That is the end of the third quarter.
Angelo State leads this one. We'll be back with quarter number 4, but first this break on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
When you choose natural gas, chocolate chip cookies get a little tastier. Homes get a little cozier. Bank accounts tend to put on some weight. Towels get fluffier. Showers stay hotter for longer. And our blue planet gets a little greener. When it comes to choosing energy that's clean and efficient, nothing else could be more American. Atmos Energy, your natural gas company.
We are Carpet Tech, and we are family. More than carpet cleaners, we're a team. Diving right in, not afraid to invest in our work and each other. We're killing it day in and day out, never shrinking from a challenge. Our people are 1 part passion, 1 part grit, and about a zillion parts awesome. And we are always looking to add to our family. So what are you waiting for?
Welcome back to Bade Schaefer Stadium as we get set to jump it up, and Angelo players are enjoying it because they lead this one 24-3 over the Buffaloes as we look at the third quarter stats. And again, the score kind of indicates how this game is played out right now. 283 yards on the ground on 40 carries for Angelo. Buffs only 72 yards at 22 carries. Angelo, as far as passing is concerned, 5 of 11 in this one for 107 yards. They really didn't have to pass any in that third quarter. And so 107 yards through the air, so a total of 390 yards for Angelo on 51 plays. The Buffs 122 yards on 43 offensive plays.
All right, Kyle Brown on second down and short takes his drop. Will throw on the run, incomplete.
Well, he had the right idea that time. He wanted to go to Tyler Sweet. He had the pressure coming from on his left-hand side, and so he rolled to his right, but he just threw it to a spot, and Tyler had already passed that spot on up the field. And so really that'll bring up a third down and about 5 for the Buffaloes. Got an injury timeout and really a cramp more than anything else.
Yeah, at the end of that one, it looked like Kahari Watson, the safety, went down. And you don't think about it with cramping, obviously, on games like tonight, but it happens.
Yeah, it definitely does, as he is being attended to, and so he's about ready to pop up, and he does, and we'll head to the sideline. Third down and 5 for the Buffaloes. Isaiah Smallwood will be in the backfield along with Kyle Brown.
Brown's pass falls incomplete. That brings up third down.
Rams blitz up the middle. Brown will throw out on the outside, and there's going to be a flag. They're going to get Angelo State down the field as Sweet. Ball was underthrown again, but he was trying to come back and make a play and was held, so that should give the Buffs a first down.
Defense number 1.
Yeah, Kaysen McCullough-Cooper is the one as he tried to come back, kind of tackled him there, and so that's where the penalty will come about, give the Buffs an automatic first down. So they'll mark this one up as they will mark it up to the 46-yard line.
That penalty gives the Buffs enough for a People's Federal Credit Union first down.
Yeah, now you got to start going hurry up offense here. Fourth quarter, Buffs trailing by 3 touchdowns. Brown takes his drop, good protection. Nobody open, so he'll run to the right, trying to buy some time, and just throw it away.
And that's where your receivers need to help you. They all were going deep, and so you need someone to break off your pattern and come back. You got to turn around and look and see where your quarterback is and come back and help him. And that time he didn't get the help he needed. We kind of, we talked about this earlier. Again, the receiving core is a veteran group, but they were used to Gerber, the way he threw things.
Sure. Here's the receiver end around Tyree Tipton. Good block, and Tipton's got good yardage. That's a play that I was talking about, Bryce, at halftime. I mean, you got these smaller but very fast receivers, and just get them the ball somehow.
Yeah. And so that was the ideal play. Picks up a first down. They get it to Ram territory at the 44-yard line.
That's the first time Tipton's touched the ball all night. And a good play for Tyree. First down, Buffaloes. Brown waiting for the snap out of the gun. Again, Rams bring pressure. Throw incomplete. Intended receiver, Red Jr.
Kind of threw it where Kenneth was, but he just couldn't shake free the defender, and so again, he had to just throw it to a spot and hope the receiver could try to come up with it.
Kenneth Red Jr. falls incomplete, brings up second down.
So 2nd and 10 for the Buffaloes. 14 minutes left to play in this ball game.
Play action, Brown sacked. Angelo State blitzes both the defensive linemen. Actually, they blitzed, but it was the defensive line that came through. Amaya Williams makes the sack. Leighton English was right behind him. And I'm not sure, if that play was going to be a rollout or just kind of one of those RPOs where you fake it and then step back and throw.
It's not good, too, when two linemen get knocked down. Joe Tiasi and also Nico Castaneda were both down on the turf, and so that allowed that interior line to put pressure on the quarterback.
Loss back to the Buffs territory on the other side of the 50-yard line. It's 3rd down and 18. 3 receivers split to the left. Brown takes his drop. He'll step up and throw this ball to Angelo State. It's an interception thrown into the hands of Kason McCullough Cooper. Second interception here in the second half. Buffs need to get back to their sideline as two teams jawing, and he wanted to go over the defender to send Tyler Sweet, who was behind, but just underthrew it.
You can see it right here, and he just didn't put enough on the football to get it to. He had to throw it in between a safety who was back deep and a corner who was in front, and unfortunately, the corner was able to come up with the interception. A lot of coaches out there now. San Angelo coaching staff, including Jeff Gersh, having his fun with the officials on the sideline.
Rams will go on the ground, and a big hole opens up over the left side. Back on the field is number 31, Jaden Jones.
If Preston Stazuski doesn't stick his hand out there as he's falling to the turf to trip him up, he would still be running right now. So Preston does a nice job to make that stop.
Gain of 7 yards there. Jones, again, the 4th running back that we've seen tonight be effective for Angelo State. He gets the carry again, and again runs hard through the first tackler. J.T. Cavender carries him out of bounds after picking up an Angelo State first down.
Frustration going out there right now for the defense. As you talked about the last play a little chippy over there on the Angelo sideline. So,
Bryson, and the Buffs right now down by 3 touchdowns. The season, the way it went, though, you get in that stretch where you lose by 1 point on the road at UTPB. You come back at home, you lose by 1 point against Western Oregon.
Right.
And then you go on the road and lose by 1 touchdown. Here's a run for Angelo State. Ferries breaks free. He's got a big first down into Buff territory. Another first down for the Rams. But then you lose at Kingsville by just 7.
Number 15,
and the last 2
those
weeks,
those 3 have really
taken their toll.
Taking their toll, I think. Just, and if nothing else, in your psyche about how you can move offensively. And it's really been the offense, I think, has been affected more than the defense. Defense has played well really all season. And so just as you mentioned, that UTPB, the fact that they just couldn't, get that one taken care of, went for 2 and lost that game by 1. And then, of course, as you mentioned, the one here at home.
Here's Jaden Jones again breaking free at the 20. Carries a Buff defender inside the 15-yard line. And this drive here, this is the first time tonight where
it's a drive where the Rams have just got it on the ground and the Buffs are just kind of frustrated with everything, I think, right now. They can't make a stop, and so trying to get some fresh players in there.
It's like ASU has WT on the ropes, and you're about to see that knockout punch.
Yeah. Gardner back out there in quarterback.
Yep, they stay on the ground with Jones. JT Cavender wraps him up at the 10-yard line. Still positive yardage. This offensive line, this drive has been brought to you by the Angelo State Rams offensive line.
Yeah,
Bryce,
no, really.
I
mean, if they have an unsung hero in this one, again, they have 445 yards so far, 338 of that on the ground. And so, again, credit that offensive line. They've opened up some nice holes for their running backs to run through, but more importantly, change of pace with the quarterback as Ferry's in there right now.
And they might maybe trying to get him a touchdown. They'll run him to the left, lead blockers. Jimmy Harrison, JT.
Number 15, Chad Ferry's the ball carrier.
Also the safety, Stazuski, combined to make the stop. It's going to be 3rd down and short.
So they bring back in Gerald Gardner. So 3rd down. It could be a run, but this also may be a pass play. He's got 2 wideouts to the far side of the field. I'd be surprised to see it up and in.
Gardner will throw. Up for grabs. It gave his receiver a chance, even though there were 2 Buff defenders in the area. That receiver is 6'6", so that's why you throw it up tall there, up high for number 85, Albert Thomas.
Well, again, nice play by Kendall Brewer, who was trailing on that one, read the quarterback, and so he was able to come up and knock that one away. And so that forces this field goal try for Brad Larson.
He's already made 1 tonight. This one will be a short 25-yard attempt, and it is good. Officials both look together and throw up the hands, so it's 3 more points added on the board for Angelo State. Lead it 27-3. Rams making a statement tonight on the road here in Canyon. We're taking the timeout. Come back with a kickoff here on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
Need more business? Choice Media is your local outdoor advertising solution, helping businesses grow since 1992. After 31 years of business, Choice Media has both static and digital billboards throughout Texas, New Mexico, and Oklahoma. Billboards are the best choice when trying to grow clientele or promoting brand awareness. Contact Choice Media, your local advertising company, at 806-352-6585 to speak with a billboard expert today. That's 806-352-6585.
It's got the looks, the style, the performance. Your new car is everything you always dreamed of, and now it's here. First Financial Bank was happy to help put you behind the wheel with a new car loan at a competitive rate and fast, friendly, local approval. It's service that just comes naturally to us, much like a love of tradition comes naturally to you. First Financial Bank, you first. Member FDIC.
Well, welcome back to First United Bank Field as Angelo State goes on an 8-play drive. covers 61 yards. They cap it off with a 25-yard field goal from Brad Larson. Takes almost 4 minutes off the clock, and they lead now 27-3 over the Buffaloes. And the fans that were across the way have kind of made their way to the exits here as the rain continues to fall. Unpleasant conditions, I'm going to say. Not very pleasant out there on the field.
Yeah, at this point, for West Texas A&M, you're competing. I mean, we've said it a lot. There's a lot of young players out there, not just competing for right now, but competing for next season.
Yeah.
Even just with one game left with Eastern New Mexico next week. But I think you're competing just for pride, and you'd like to finish this game out and score a touchdown.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And again, when you had a touchdown scored that was called back because of a penalty, again, that should, kind of embrace you a little more, that you want a little extra effort when you get out there offensively. We'll see what the Buffs do when they get this one back.
And this will be down in the end zone, and just being honest and upfront, Bryce. I mean, coming into this game tonight, if you're looking at it on paper, Angelo State was the favorite.
Yeah, they really are. Yeah, they definitely are. They've, as you talked about, the teams they've been beaten by this year all sit atop the conference, and so again, they have had a traditionally strong program under Jeff Garson. So, been competing for titles for the last several years. This year they are not, but again, they still have the same caliber of personnel out there.
More veterans, more players that have stayed in the program.
Yeah.
And again, for Coach Lynn in his first season.
A lot of rebuilding going on.
Yes.
There's a nice run.
It is on the outside. Buffs bring in new running back, and it's a good carry there for Ben McCrary, number 46.
That's a nice change of pace.
It was. He got around the edge.
Picks up the first down.
Redshirt freshman running back.
We have a new quarterback, too, I believe.
Number 46, Bryn McCrary, the ball carrier for the Buffs. Gets the Buffs enough for People's Federal
Well,
Credit
Bryce,
Union.
is that a 17?
That's what I thought. It was 17.
It is. It is a new quarterback, Weston Egat.
And around again.
It's to Bogardus, and Bogardus has a nice run up to the 48-yard line. Okay, so new quarterback for the Buffaloes, and it's the first time we've seen this young man all season long. Egat, the 6'3", 205-pound junior, a transfer over from New Mexico State. Did not play a lot over there for the Aggies and transferred to West Texas A&M. First action all season. Egat will throw down the far sideline, and actually a good throw gave his receiver a chance. It was not free at the last second. Tyler Sweet couldn't haul it in, but not a bad-looking throw there.
No, that was very nice, timely throw from Egat as he was able to, that was one of those timing plays. He throws it to a spot and allows his receiver to run underneath it. And so, again, nice touch on the pass. So it brings up 3rd down and 1.
And again, Ben McCrary is the running back. They move him to the right. Angelo State will blitz. McCrary, nope, ball was loose. They faked it to McCrary, and it was dropped by Egat back at the 42-yard line.
Well, the fact that we had 2 linemen over on the far side, it looked like they were going to fake the handoff and go with a pass, maybe a screen over to the right side, but that one just didn't pan out for the Buffaloes. So with that loss, it brings up a punting situation. Back to put his foot into it once again is Seth Ford.
Angelo State, return man. They're going to just stay away from this punt and watch it die at about the 21-yard line. The punt returner back there for the Rams that time was number 82, Trevor Wynn. He's a freshman out of Shallow-Water. And we'll have a timeout. 7 minutes, 7 seconds left in this ballgame. All Angelo State tonight. They lead it 27-3.
You know that egg producers don't quit at 5 p.m. We don't quit until the job's done either. Banker's hours don't apply at First United Bank because we believe egg lending isn't a 9-to-5 job. While you're out working the fields or managing the herd, we're making sure your money is working too. Whether it's for livestock, land, or equipment, we're one of the most dominant ag lenders in the state and have been burning the midnight oil since 1907. First United Bank. We know ag lending. We know ag.
Well, welcome back as we get set. 7:07 left to play, and the Rams bring their offense out.
All right, let's see who Angelo State will bring on at quarterback. New quarterback, number 18. It's a handoff, though, up the middle for a short gain. So the new quarterback is Stoney McGuire. He's a junior out of Austin Westlake High School.
Yeah, he's the traditional second-string quarterback for the Rams.
How many quarterbacks do they have, Bryce?
Well, they got quite a few, obviously. They got 2 running quarterbacks and then 2 other quarterbacks. And so he's traditionally the backup to Gerald Gardner. And, of course, with the history of Austin Westlake, you would anticipate that he probably can throw the football. Got a new line out there, too, for the most part. Low snap.
Yep, they'll run it to the right. Jaden Jones breaks free at the 50.
There's a hold right there. I mean, I can't believe.
It's a big run for the Rams.
Land. That was a receiver holding a defensive back who was trying to break free. And neither official throws a flag. Watch this on the near side as he comes to the near side. And you can see, well, maybe we can't. Right there's the hold, still holding.
Injury timeout.
Stazuski was down at the end of the play. The training staff comes out to check on him. He's had a really good game tonight, but right now down on the turf at the 25-yard line. We'll take a quick timeout, come back. 5:54 left in this one. Angelo State leads 27-3.
Your support makes an impact. Buffalo Club donors help our student athletes achieve their goals of winning championships while earning their degree from WT. Your support provides funds for recruiting, scholarships, and program enhancements that make WT recognized as a top 10 NCAA Division II athletic program and the best in Texas.
5:54 left to play in this one. 491 total yards for the Rams, 141 for the Buffs. They just not been able to get the offense on track. They trail 27-3 to Angelo State. The Rams in Buffalo territory at the 39-yard line.
Stoney McGuire, low snap, was able to pick it up, hand it off to Jones. And Jones hit hard. J.T. Cavendish still playing hard along with Jimmy Harrison at the bottom of that pile. Harrison, his last home game here for West Texas A&M, transferred over from Nebraska. Kearney would have loved to have had Jimmy for another season.
No, that's the thing. I mean, he is that Energizer bunny that just keeps going and going. And again, you can see what the folks at Nebraska Kearney enjoyed with Jimmy in the years that he was up there playing. From Hobbs, New Mexico, got a chance to play a little closer to home. Had his mom here tonight for senior recognition.
Low snap again, and McGuire keeps it over the right side across the 30-yard line.
Well, the new center out there is Noah Plesic. He was actually a guard that started in this one and has moved over. And so he has moved over as the center.
Taken down by number 22, Gage Smith.
So first down on the run by Stoney McGuire. Clock continues to run, 4:27 left to play.
Well, and you can see, for Angelo State, they are getting some new players in.
Yeah.
And the thing for them is they've got their starters that are on the sidelines cheering them on. And
it's going to be a procedure penalty. But, yes, absolutely. The line is all new that's out there right now.
Offense number 75, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
New tight end out there as well. Andres Sanchez.
Bryce, you mentioned it earlier in the broadcast, but Angelo State head coach Jeff Gersh, 32 wins, 8 losses here in his 6th season.
Yeah.
He's gone deep in the playoffs last 2 years. This season doesn't appear like, unless some crazy things happen, that Angelo State will make the playoffs again, but he really has been an outstanding hire for them.
Well, and he really has. And the thing is, he was on that staff when they made the change. And so it was between he and another offensive coach, and they decided to go with a defensive coach. Jeff was their defensive coordinator. And so, again, they maintained that kind of same defensive presence that they had for really 9 years now that he's been there. And so the offense adjusts each and every year. And so this is kind of an adjustment year to some different, again, when you got a graduate student starting at quarterback. And so that does make it a little different.
Stay on the ground here with Jaden Jones, and hit from behind. Goo comes up and makes a good tackle after short yardage.
And you talk about Buffaloes, too, from the standpoint that a lot of the players we did see last year that have come back that still have another year of eligibility. There will be a second year in this system with Josh Lynn and Levi Gallus and Chase Kaiser. And so, again, they'll have another spring to work on what they have going on. Again, still one more game against Eastern New Mexico. And, again, the Buffs are going over there with the intention of trying to bring the wagon wheel back over here.
McGuire will throw, and it's incomplete.
That's a lateral.
Yeah, probably need to jump on that ball.
Yeah, they'll mark it back as a loss.
Give credit to Kel Williams for being alert. A lot of players, will throw their hands up, frustrated,
yeah,
whatever.
Yeah, because they didn't catch it. And he knew it was a lateral, and so they roll it back, and that was a 6-yard loss. And so it brings up 4th down. Clock continues to run, so they'll leave the offense out there to run it on this 4th down play. And so, again, whether they make it or not is inconsequential. Doesn't matter. Can't even say what I want to say. So
here's McGuire. He will throw and complete the pass. Is that going to be at the sticks?
That may be right at the sticks. He may have got the first down there. They're going to mark it. Yeah, they mark it at the 20, inside the 20, and that'll be enough for a first down.
If it is, that's going to essentially end the ball game.
Close.
Nope, they mark it back at the.
So it's going to be the Buffalo ball. So the Buffs make a great stop there.
The receiver made a good catch and good effort there, Trevor Wynn, and he thought he picked up the first down. Buffs will get the offense back on the field one more time. 1 minute, 36 seconds left. As this one is going to see Angelo State move on, get another victory here, and move on to 5-3. The Buffs will fall to 3-6, 2-5 in LSC play. Egat stays out there as quarterback, and also Ben McCrary for the Buffs will be the running back.
They're missing a tight end now. Shaq Brown runs out there. Play clock at 14.
Letting one of the senior wide receivers step out there as well. Wellington Bridges, he's the receiver at the bottom of your screen there on the left side. Handoff goes to McCrary. Running tough.
I really like the way he's attacking the hole here. And again, I understand second-team defense out there too, but still you got to attack, and that's kind of what he's doing.
McCrary, again, redshirt freshman, 5'10", 190-pounder out of San Antonio.
Number 46, Ben McCreary, the ball carrier.
Taking advantage of his opportunity late in this ball game.
Yeah.
Clock runs now down to close to 1 minute to play in this contest, which has been all Angelo State tonight. McCrary on the ground again over the left side, falls forward, maybe a yard short of the first down. And on the stop for Angelo State, give credit to number 20, Alex.
So just a little shy of the first down, about a yard, is all they need to pick up the first down.
Number 46, Ben McCreary.
Two wideouts out to the far side.
Brings up 3rd down and 1.
At tackler, I want to get this right. Bouillabasis was the tackler. So
isn't that a cooking thing?
I don't know, but
Bouillabaisse?
it's a good tackle. McCrary breaks free.
Go, buddy, go.
Ben McCrary at the 30, at the 21, man to beat. Get into the end zone. You betcha. Touchdown Buffaloes. Came with 16 seconds left, and it was a 71-yard scamper. Here's the replay, Bryce.
And again, nice job, trap on the right side. He then just cuts it back against the grain, and then it's a foot race to the end zone.
Nice job, Ben McCreary.
Yeah, absolutely. Get the Buffs on the scoreboard. Pushes the Buffs over 200 yards of offense, too, with that run.
Preston Gregg will attempt this extra point. And it is good. So West Texas A&M gets the touchdown, and it will be 27-10. Angelo State leads. Just 16 seconds left. We'll take the timeout, come back with the kickoff here on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
Need more business? Choice Media is your local outdoor advertising solution, helping businesses grow since 1992. After 31 years of business, Choice Media has both static and digital billboards throughout Texas, New Mexico, and Oklahoma. Billboards are the best choice when trying to grow clientele or promoting brand awareness. Contact Choice Media, your local advertising company, at 806-352-6585 to speak with a billboard expert today. That's 806-352-6585.
Well, the Buffaloes on a 3-play, 80-yard drive, and 71 yards of that is Ben McCreary as he takes it in on a 71-yard run.
His first touchdown of his career.
First touchdown, and he becomes the leading rusher in the game now with 94 yards on the ground for Ben McCreary. And so that pushes the Buffs over 221 yards offense in this one, and maybe a little spark for the Buffaloes to carry over into eastern New Mexico on a nice run.
Kickoff angled and short, fielded, and then Angelo State just falls down there at the 24-yard line. 15 seconds left, and so this one, Bryce, is going to be a big win here for Angelo State. And again, Rams 2 games left, Buffs just 1, and WT will try to get the wagon wheel back.
Got the wagon wheel game next week, a 1 o'clock start over in eastern New Mexico, Portales, New Mexico, at eastern New Mexico.
They're coming off of a big win. They played Thursday night and defeated Lincoln University, non-conference.
Yeah, so they got a couple extra days to prepare for the wagon wheel game. Josh Lynn, you know, this is an important game for him too, this eastern New Mexico game.
Sure.
Going back to where he coached for years.
They have gained offense, 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Well, and this is one thing I do know. It's not going to matter in terms of when you look at the records for next week, where Eastern New Mexico and WT not having winning records and being more at the bottom of the conference. That's still going to be a bloodbath.
It's a pride game. It really is. It's a pride game, and so that's exactly it.
Quarterback takes the knee for Angelo State, and the players will make their way out to midfield. They'll shake hands, and for Angelo State and West Texas A&M, Angelo State's going to take a 22-15 all-time series lead. over WT. It'll be the 11th time that they have defeated the Buffs here in Canyon. For West Texas A&M again, Bryce, 12 seniors finish out their career for WT, last home game in front of Buff Nation.
Yeah, and Coach is kind of neat. Jeff Garst goes out. JT Cavender, he grabs him to the side and has some complimentary words. Again, JT, one of those guys that we really like watching him play here at Linebacker University, and so just another one of those really top linebackers for WT. Here comes the big hits of the game.
Brought to you by Marble Depot.
And here, of course, this one we saw on that little wideout. He got stopped quickly. And here's a carry that JT Cavender comes up and puts a seal on. JT again, a nice sliding down the line. And coming up, boom, hello, how you doing on that stop? And another big hit for the Buffaloes from behind. That's the X-Man as he comes up and makes the stop. And so some of the big hits in the ball game for this one tonight. We'll go ahead and take a timeout. We'll do so, and we'll come back right after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
This isn't just any burger run. This is a burger run for Whataburger's Sweet and Spicy Bacon Burger. 2 fresh all-beef patties with melty cheese, grilled onions, crispy bacon, and sweet and spicy pepper sauce. One for you, one for him, and one for your unofficial roommate, Brad. Always order an extra. You know, for Brad.
Well, welcome back as the Buffs fall in this one by a final of 27-10 tonight as the Buffaloes and Kent Johnson standing by. So let's head down to the field and then join Kent Johnson with head coach Josh Lynn. Kent?
Post game here with WT head coach Josh Lynn. And, Coach, obviously not the way you want to send your seniors out on their final home game, but your observations on tonight's game.
Well, I mean, it's a good Angelo State football team. Didn't play good offensively. I thought special teams and defensively we played well enough to, to compete. Moving in, we got to get better. I mean, we got to move the ball, and we got to establish the run game, and we didn't do that tonight. And that's a good Angelo State defense over there. So we got some stuff we need to clean up.
One more opportunity to win a game this year, and it's a big one. You've been on both sides of the fence of the wagon wheel.
Absolutely. I mean, it's always a great one to end our season with, and so it'll be fun. And we need to reload and we need to get ready to go this week.
Post-game thoughts from the head coach. Looking forward to next week as well. Back upstairs, guys.
All right, Kent, thanks very much. Again, the Buffaloes fall in this one tonight, 27-10, 513 yards for Angelo in this one, 221 for the Buffs. And it wasn't really till the end the Buffaloes got their offense kind of on track. And, we saw a couple of guys emerge. I mean, Brent McCreary, that's, again, going against the second-team defense, but it's a really nice quick moves to get to the outside. And so there's a running back to kind of build on going down the road as well.
Absolutely. Good to see him do some good things. For Angelo State, Bryce, they're going to finish their season out. The Rams will take on Midwestern State. They have 2 home games to finish it out, Midwestern State at home and then Western Oregon as well. And so it'll be interesting to see how the conference race finishes out. It looks like if Central Washington came back and won tonight, I think they had regained the lead at one point against Kingsville.
Okay.
So if they come back and win, you got them and UT Permian Basin there at the top. And
they play next week.
That's
right. So that'll be for the conference championship. And so that'll be a good matchup. And, of course, the Buffaloes heading over to eastern New Mexico. Again, a lot of interest in that one as Josh really didn't get into it too much, but that's an important ball game for him as well as he gets to go back and a place he had been for many years and, had the old triple option that they ran over there quite often. And so, again, we'll see what the Buffaloes do as they head over to Portales.
The final game for us this season, and so Bryce, want to thank all the Thunder Vision production team, the camera operators, the producers, everybody that puts in hard work all season long. We work with the best people, outstanding talent, and so we appreciate all their hard work. A lot of, not the season that we wanted in terms of wins and losses, but we had you had that feeling coming in first year, new head coach, short recruiting season, and I know a lot
system.
of people say, well, you're giving a lot of excuses.
Well, no, but it's a new system, and that's the thing. You've got players that were established here with WT under Hunter Hughes and his system and everything else, and they convert to a completely new system. And so, again, it takes time. And when you lose a quarterback like Nick Gerber, who had been here for 73 years.
Right.
No, just kidding. Nick was a great player. He was here for a long time, and so you were able to do a lot of things with him at quarterback. And so trying to find that identity, that's been the big key for them as far as quarterback play is concerned. And so I think they're still looking a little bit. I mean, they found some guys this year that, the young guys that are trying to learn. Tonight, the same thing with Kyle Brown, only a sophomore. And so, again, he has some learning pains to go through as well, but between him and Cannon Gibson, and so we'll see what emerges. Again, important game next week against Eastern, and so I know they'll be talking about it. I know earlier this week they had a 3-hour practice because they were getting ready for this one. I think probably getting ready for that one as well. So probably putting in some new things, getting ready for the Eastern game next Saturday.
Final score again tonight, Angelo State 27, West Texas A&M 10. Here in a little bit, I will walk over and I will be a good sport, and I will hand over the Golden Mouth of the South trophy to my friend Jeremy Bryant. He'll take that back to St. Angelo, and we'll look forward to the next meeting with the Buffs and the Rams. So, Bryce, great job this season. Had a blast, and so that's going to do it for us from Bain Schaefer Buffalo Stadium. The Buffaloes lose tonight to Angelo State by the final score of 27-10. That'll do it. Thanks so much for watching all season long here on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network. Everybody enjoy the rest of your weekend.